Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for today's pregame prayer presented by USF Father David Benzet. In the name of the Father, Lord God, we again invoke your blessing upon this day today. Thanks to you, this chance to gather together, rejoice in the talents you have given to our football players. Bless them on the field, both teams, that they may stay without injury, and may play good sportsmanship, and may rejoice in this game. Bless us all, our games. Lord, your holy name. Amen. And just a reminder, we do have Mass at 4 p.m. in the chapel after the game. All welcome. Thank you, Father. Please remain standing for today's national anthem. The flag today is being presented by USF student athletes along with the Indiana National Guard. The national anthem will be performed by the USF Marching Tribe.
Listen. Just tell them not to.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bishop John M. Darcy Stadium on the campus of the University of St. Francis for today's NAIA College football game between visiting Saint University and your University of St. Francis Cougars. Fans, today is Senior Day, where we will recognize senior band members, cheerleaders, and those involved in the University of St. Francis football program. We'll do that momentarily. Leading things off, our one band member that is a senior, Logan Hyman, with 13 Next up, our senior cheerleaders, CJ Boswick, with Charles, Paula, and Bailey Boswick. Gabby Geisler, with Todd and Jennifer Whiteley. Kira Glasper, with Steve and Debbie Glasper. Madison Haas, with David and Dominique Haas. And Nicole Westrick, with Mike and Dory Westrick. Senior athletic trainer, Haley Badinka, with Steve and Tammy Badinka. Equipment manager, Erica B, with Martin and Lori B. We will announce our senior football players and momentarily.
It is game time for the winningest college football program in the state of Indiana. It's the University of St. Francis Cougars on Redeemer Radio. Now, live to the stadium with the voice of the Cougars, Joe Parson, and the Redeemer Radio sports team.
Season for St. Francis today. Cougars trying to finish unbeaten and ranked #1 with the playoffs just 2 weeks away. Hi, everybody. Welcome into Bishop John M. Darcy Stadium. Along with Sean McBride, I'm Joe Parson. USF against Taylor today. Cougars hoping for a win, which would give them outright claim to the MSFA Mideast League title. And that's something that did elude them a season ago despite the national championship crown. At home today against a Taylor University team that also needs a win today, along with one next week at home to finish the year at 500 at 5-5. Trojans dropped a road decision last Saturday in Ann Arbor, Michigan to Concordia 31-14. That despite 6'5" junior quarterback Everett Pollard throwing for 328 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he'll be looking a lot today for Grant Holbein, a 6'1" receiver who leads Taylor with 53 catches, Sean, and that is second among all MSFA receivers. So there are some weapons on this Trojan team.
Yeah, that's precisely right, Joe. When we look at this Taylor offense, they've got a great arsenal in the quarterback. Everett Pollard does a great job distributing the ball. But again, the big threat, it will be Holbein through the air today. So the defensive backs will be challenged for the Cougars.
As far as the Cougars, they were home last Saturday. Now make it 9 up, 9 down as USF dismantled Lindenwood Belleville 70-0. And all started with an 89-yard opening kickoff return touchdown as St. Francis zoomed out to a 49-0 halftime lead. Cougars with 494 yards of total offense, with Nick Ferreira throwing for 3 touchdowns, Justin Green running for 3 scores as well. And the defense, Sean, also there to shine with plenty of activity.
We talked about the defense last week and what a special performance it was, especially Coward with a 100-yard pick six. Again, 2 interceptions on the day, 2 sacks, and 10 tackles for loss. The defense was a very bright spot, and they're going to need it again today.
Well, today marks the 17th meeting between these two teams. USF is 14-2 against Taylor all time. Trojans' only win in Fort Wayne came in the inaugural 1998 season when they beat the fledgling Cougars back way then in the very first home game, 40-18. Cougars trying to finish strong with the playoffs to begin 2 weeks from today. We'll take a timeout and then return to Darcy Stadium. We'll visit with head coach Kevin Donley upon our return. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Happy Easter to you. Did you know that Jesus loves his scars? He loves them so much that he chooses to keep them in his resurrected, transfigured body. Jesus says to you, look at my hands and my feet. Yes, it is I indeed. Touch me. Luke 24:39. In other words, look at how much I love you. Touch me. Not only you in the sense of the church collectively, but you as an individual. You are everything to Jesus. Quote, see, I have branded you on the palms of my hands. Isaiah 49:16. You are branded there. When Jesus looks at his scars, he sees you. He is always showing these marks to our Heavenly Father, saying, see how much I love them. I'm Jim Littleton, forming FaithfulFamilies.com.
Just ahead of kickoff, let's check in with Cougar coach Kevin Donley. And, hardly seems possible to talk about this being the last regular season game. Seems like just yesterday we were packing up to go to North Dakota. But here it is. We go against Taylor today. Coach, I want to turn our attention back to last Saturday against Lindenwood Belleville. And we always talk about the game of football where there's problems, sometimes there's opportunities. And normally at the start of the ball game, we see Justin Green back there kicking with kick return opportunities. But no, it was a young freshman out of Penn, Matt Kamikewicz. And interesting story how that came about. Problems, opportunities. Tell us what happened.
Well, Justin had a little stomach flu and was in the bathroom at that time. Didn't make a kickoff, so his backup freshman, Kamikewicz, came in and took it to the house.
89 yards on an opening kickoff, so he's in the record books, has a chance for history. And it was a day of, we saw everything. The opening kickoff, 89-yard kickoff return touchdown. Spencer Coward also with a 100-yard pick six return for a touchdown. Just a great day, and I wanted to ask you about a situation right before halftime because we're up 42-0. You call a timeout, we get the ball back, we move the ball 53 yards in under a minute. And we said on the air, Coach, that was less about scoring points about Lindenwood Belleville and more kind of a dress rehearsal for down the road in the playoffs when you have to have that 2-minute drill to score points. Would I be correct in that assessment?
No, you're exactly right. We haven't had the opportunity to work for 2 minutes. So, it's a challenge. I think we had the ball with less than a minute to go and just wanted to put Nick out there. He calls it line of scrimmage, go look and get down bounds, turn the clock, like to stop, the change moving. So it's a practice drill.
What's interesting, it was Nate Carson on the receiving end. Young man only has 9 catches on the year, 5 for touchdown. You can't get any more efficient than that.
He makes them count, doesn't he? I'm so happy for him. He's a great young man. Great to see him get in the end zone this year.
Well, we've got Taylor in today, and the Trojans just 3 wins, but I know you've got great respect for that Trojan program. And Dorkinger's team, they've got a 6'5" quarterback, Everett Pollard, launched 53 attempts last week, and they did lose the ball game, but dangerous opponent.
They are. I have great respect for Taylor University and the coaching staff. They do a great job. They're more prepared. I think those guys play to their max potential on a regular basis. They do have an outstanding quarterback. I think defensively they're really solid. Stop the run well. Been able to keep the ball in front of them. Their record is indicative.
Got to ask you, did you buy some Pepto-Bismol for Justin Green today?
maybe I should run out here right before kickoff.
Coach Kevin Donley with his pregame thoughts ahead of this regular season finale here at Darcy Stadium. Cougars come in 9-0. They are undefeated and ranked number 1, 5-0 now in the Mideast League, trying to get that outright claim to the Mideast League title here today. Kevin Donley in his 20th year. Of course, they're 4-0 in home. A year ago, they finished 13-1, 5-1 in the Mideast League. They won their final 9 ball games, including the NAIA Championship. As far as the Trojans, 3-5, just 1-3 in the Mideast League under Ron Korkmacher, the head coach. He's in his 10th year. Heading up the Trojans. They are winless, though, on the road, coming in at 0-4. A year ago, they were 4-7, 2-4 in the league, and they had lost their final home game, the final game of the year last year against Trinity International, and lost that by a count of 17-14. 46 degrees here at kickoff. Winds out of the east-southeast at about 8 miles an hour, and we do have a wind chill of about 41 degrees. It's cloudy skies right now. They say that showers may develop somewhere around 3:30. May get up to about the low 50s, but we're hoping we can get Celebrate Senior Day being introduced to the crowd here ahead of kickoff. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with more of our pregame preparation. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio.
Number 95, Dylan Richardson.
What you do for work matters. Finding the right job can be a challenge. Excuse me. We'll have 1 more minute after that.
Number 96, Ahmad Rucker with Aubrey Rucker.
Yes, sir. No opportunities. With Spherion, you'll have the immediate interest of top employers who trust their workforce needs to us. Discover the Spherion difference. Call us at 496-9900 or online at spherion.com.
Dear, do you have any cash? I owe Heather for lunch. Oh, and we need to send Jason money for textbooks.
Sound familiar? Now there's an easier way to pay with People Pay from First Federal Bank. It uses First Federal's mobile app to quickly and securely text or email cash and e-gift cards.
Oh, I still have to get a gift card for Dan's birthday. I think there's an ATM on the way.
Stop hunting for ATMs and start using People Pay. Check it out at first-fed.com/peoplepay. Member FDIC.
4th and 17 on their own 15.
Back at Darcy Stadium, I'm Joe Parson. Sean McBride's with us today as well. He'll be down on the field here shortly for the meeting at midfield and the coin toss coming up with a referee today. His name is Jeff Gwynn. Other games going on elsewhere in the Midwest in the Mideast League. It's Marion Hall today. They're taking on Missouri Baptist. You know, the Heights on the road at Lindenwood Belleville. Concordia, by the way, is idle. Midwest League, a couple of games of note. Saint Xavier now 7-1 overall. Their only loss to USF. They are 3-0 in the Midwest League. By the way, St. Francis is alone unbeaten now in all of the MSFA. But the Cougars of Saint Xavier, they're playing host today to Olivet Nazarenes, 5-4 overall and 1-2 in the league. Other games, USF Illinois at Robert Morris. Cougars idle next week. Playoffs will begin 2 weeks from today, Saturday, November the 18th. The expectation is, the hope is that USF will have a home game and maybe all the way home if they're able to win out until the national championship game will come up down in Daytona Beach once again in December. But we'll wait and see the playoff rankings, final rankings coming up a week from tomorrow on Sunday. Then we'll have the pairings coming up shortly thereafter. So the playoff rankings coming up a week from tomorrow and Sunday. As far as the Trojans, they close their regular season next Saturday, taking on Missouri Baptist. A great place for us to step out. We'll take a final timeout. We'll get back as we get ready for the co-captains to come out. And our coin toss and meeting in midfield coming up. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Hi, this is Charlie Momper from Momper Installation. After last winter's brutal temperatures and record-breaking wind chills, it's not too early to start thinking of...
Okay, so here will be that 1 minute, that prayer in the open.
Yes, sir.
By adding additional insulation, you can cut your energy costs up to 30%. Call Momper Installation today at 432-7543. Momper, the #1 name in installation since 1956.
Do you have a devotion to Our Lady Guadalupe? Travel with Redeemer Radio Odysseys to Mexico City and see firsthand the tilma of Juan Diego bearing the image of the Holy Virgin Mary. Register by February 28th to save $100 on your trip.
To find more information about our Mexico Odyssey, visit Redeemer Radio Odysseys on our website at redeemerradio.com or call me, Tina Schneider, at 260-436-2482.
Coming to you now.
We are back and we're getting ready with our referee, Jeff Gwynn, today, calling out the co-captains. And we'll have that coin toss coming up here in just a matter of seconds. As we get ready on a cloudy day that we're hoping the rain will stay away. Right now about 46 degrees. We should reach into the low 50s. All the seniors for St. Francis coming out. Part of the Will co-captain contingent. And meanwhile, Sean McBride's down there as well.
Hey, come on in, fellas.
With our referee, Jeff Gwynn.
All right, guys, sportsmanship today. Play hard, have fun. We're going to be good sports. Got it? Hey, fellas, this is Lane. He's our honorary captain today. Want that Lane high? All right, he's going to flip the coin for us. All right? Who's going to make the call? 15 you call it? Okay, Bizzer. He's going to call heads or tails? Tails. Tails is the head side, that's the tail side. So you call us tails? Tails. Lane, will you flip this for me, please? Let it hit the ground. Flip it real high, let it hit the ground. Look at that. It is head. One toss with the speed with the third. We're here to take the ball. Retreat. Let's see. Before everyone kick. Okay, come around.
Okay, Joe, so news from the coin toss down here. The University of St. Francis Cougars have won the coin toss and decided to take the ball to begin the contest here. And Taylor will be kicking south to north towards the campus. Back up to you.
We'll see Sean back up shortly, and we'll step out. We'll get ready for Cougar football right here on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Let us pray. As we gather in your name, O Lord, there are so many things for which we are grateful, for you have created us in your image and likeness, and you have filled us with gifts and talents and abilities. We thank you for the gifts that you have bestowed upon these athletes, their coaches, their parents, and their supporters. We ask you to bless this contest in which we show forth the beauty of creation by using our talents wisely. Help us always to use them for your greater honor and glory in a spirit of fairness and competition, so that this game may truly be a way of bringing to the world an awareness of you who are Lord forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Strap in and turn up the radio for hard-hitting, high-scoring USF Cougar football. Coach Kevin Donley joins Joe Parson and the Redeemer Radio sports team for one of the great traditions in Fort Wayne sports as we count down to the kickoff on Redeemer Radio.
Football, that'll put, hey, guess who's back there? Justin Green missed the opening kickoff last week. That Kamakevich returned it 89 yards for a touchdown, but Green is back there to start this ball game, and we are just about ready to get this one underway. Here's the kick high, end over end. Green backing up, has it at the 4. Works straight up across the 10, cuts to his left, 15, 20. He's got a block, gets across the 30, 35. He's got a chance inside the 40, 35, 30. This will be 96 yards. And 2 weeks in a row, the Cougars return the opening kickoff, and just like that, Sean McBride, they're on the board with a 6-0 lead.
Deja vu all over again, Joe. What a beautifully set up return that time by the University of St. Francis Cougars. I think can come out and make a statement very early on today. It's going to be a great contest.
I can't ever remember a game in 20 years history, back-to-back kickoff returns touchdowns. This one for 96 yards. So we are 15 seconds into the start of this ball game, and just like last week, deja vu as you mentioned, and it'll be Gavin Gardner trying to make it a 7-0 lead. Nepper's the holder. And here's the right-footed kick on the way. It's long enough, and it is no good, though. So St. Francis has to be content with a 6-0 lead. We'll step out just like that. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Make a difference in your life and others by joining. Every great team has focus and talent, and at Parkview Sports Medicine, our focus is on you. From performance training and nutrition counseling to orthopedic surgery, athletic rehab, and more, Parkview Sports Medicine's got you covered. You can trust us to bring together today's top experts in sports medicine to improve the performance and treatment of athletes like you. Go to parkview.com/sportsmedicine to learn how we can help you and the athletes in your life be your best. Parkview Sports Medicine. Upgrade your game.
Well, a week ago, the Cougars, their win streak now at 18 after that 70-0 shutout victory here last Saturday over Lindenwood Belleville. That's the first shutout victory since beating Taylor here back in 2014 when they won 42-0. The most points by USF also since beating Missouri Valley College 79-20 in the first round of the NAIA playoffs a year ago. It is not a record for points, though. That record was 84, set here back in the 2000 season against Iowa Wesleyan. But what a way to start with a 96-yard opening kickoff return by Justin Green. Here's the Gardner kick, high end over end. That'll be fielded back around the 10. Return across the 15. Heading to the right side. They'll bring it across the 20, 25. Good return up to 35-40. And good field position and maybe for Taylor, but we'd see a penalty flag thrown by Jeff Gwynn back right around the 27-yard line. That one might be coming back.
It might very well. Let's see what the call here is.
Drew Lefevre drew the penalty on the holding call, so that'll back them up. It'll be 1st and 10.
You have to wonder, Joe, with the St. Francis Cougars deciding to take the ball first, if in fact that really wasn't part of the scheme, if you will, for a quick score and to get on top very early with the kick return. That was just, it was a thing of beauty, something very fun to watch.
What do you suppose was going through the mind of Justin Green after missing the kickoff last week and seeing his replacement run 89 yards? He said, I'm going to do better than that today.
Right.
Blitz coming defensive right side. Pollard loads, fires, completes. And that's a catch up around the 25, 26-yard line. So Pollard, as we mentioned, was 31 of 53 last week for 328 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was intercepted twice and sacked once.
Interesting name we're going to hear today, Danny Boyd, number 81, the receiver that time for Taylor.
We're going to have fun with that all day long. That's a gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. Taylor down 6-0 with the ball now. Here's Pollard, looks to hand it off, the read option, and nothing there. The Cougars are waiting on the pass for the running back, and let's see if that's, I believe that's going to be Spencer Crisp. He's a 190-pound sophomore. Leads them with 367 rushing yards, coming in 3 touchdowns. Carried against Concordia last week 18 times for 35 yards, and is going to lose a couple of yards there.
Yeah, Eric Dutton did a fine job welcoming in the running back to Bishop Darcy Stadium there.
So 3rd down coming up. Taylor on 3rd downs, 7 of 19 last week. For the year, they're at 44%. Here's Pollard, looks quick slant. He's got a catch at the 30, and that looks like enough yardage for the 1st down. They'll move the chains. They'll mark it at the 31, 1st and 10 for Taylor.
That'll be his number 1 receiver, number 10, Grant Holbein there. He checks in 6'1", 210-pound senior receiver.
Had 8 catches last week in Ann Arbor for 86 yards, averaged 10 yards a carry, or I should have reception. Pollard now from the left side hash mark, has motion right to left behind the line of scrimmage. That's Holbein. Looks to throw again. Throws the home run ball up. He's well, that misread because the wideout went down and out. That was Kyle Kempton. He went right down the field, but the pass was coming to the near sidelines.
Yeah, clearly the route and the throw were not the same as the receiver did the chair route and went inside, but the ball went to the sidelines. So incomplete pass there for Taylor.
Going to see quite an aerial show today, I got to believe, especially with Pollard. That is what they do well. They throw the football. 2nd down and 10. Ball still at the 31-yard line, and there was movement, and that might be a free play. Here's the throw to the right side. That one's up for grabs, and well, let's see if they were out of bounds, and no catch. But Pollard might have had a free one, as Jeff Gwynn, our referee, will let us know.
Yeah, I think the hard count may have drawn USF offside.
James Jamesich did jump the gun just a little bit. So it'll be 2nd down and 5. Taylor coming in averaging 27.4 points a ball game. They're giving up just 29.5. Lost last week 31-14 to Concordia. Again, movement at the line of scrimmage, and penalty flags thrown again on the hard count. Here's a ball nearly intercepted as rotating back was Ryan Johnson, but again, it's going to be, I think, an automatic first down. Back-to-back encroachment calls to offsides against St. Francis. Cougars come in, Sean, as far as penalties. They had 7 for 70 yards last week. They're averaging 73 yards a game in penalties. That's next to last among all MSFA football teams.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what they have to do here because there are some really big boys up front for Taylor, and the defense is looking for any advantage they can get to try and get to the quarterback.
Glad you mentioned that. They averaged 309 a man tackle to tackle. That is huge. Here is Pollard again. Looks option run, pitches the ball, and trying to get Crisp to the outside. Turns the corner, got yardage up around to the 45. We'll see where he stepped out of bounds. Maybe now back at the 44-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 4. 2nd down and 6 coming up.
Yeah, vanilla play there. Just a pitch to the right-hand side, student body right, and it was effective for a good gain. 2nd and 6. You can do a lot here.
A lot of 300-pounders on that offensive line, led by Jacob Baker at center, 320, senior at 5'11". Ben Utter and Austin Gard are the guards. Logan Ball and Taylor Johnson the tackles. Here's a sweep coming up to the right side, and it's carried. That was by Holden Hodge. Got that call at 1 carry last week for 8 yards. And they've got another first down into Cougar territory at the 49.
Good team speed here so far on display by Taylor as they were able to get the edge and a nice 7-8 yard gain that time across into USF territory.
2 wide to the left side, including Kyle Kempton. 1st and 10. Pollard checks that Cougar defense. Read option, throws over the middle. He's got a wide open catch. And that will be run by Nick Lamica, and he's got a chance to score. He gets it down inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for Taylor with a chance to take the lead.
An absolutely beautifully executed play there as the play fake really worked, sucked in the linebackers. Lamica was able to squirt out past that line and just take off afterwards.
Daniel Boy, wide right. They'll give the ball off to Crisp, looking for some running room and trying to break the plane of the goal, and he does. It'll be a touchdown run of 3 yards out at the 11:47 mark. So coming right back to open and answer that opening kickoff return touchdown by Justin Green. And Spencer Crisp gets in to the end zone. And we're in a 6-6 tie. Extra point, Austin Gunderson does all the extra point kicking, 23 of 28 on the year. This is for the lead. Extra point by USF was missed. Gunderson for the lead. Waiting for the snap. Right-footed kick is on the way. It's certainly high enough, long enough, and it is good. So just like that, Taylor takes the lead at 7-6. And we'll step out here at Darcy Stadium. And the Cougars going to get the chance with the ball on offense when we return. Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
You can help support your Catholic parish or school with Notre Dame Federal Credit Union's Elevate program. You'll not only enjoy excellent personal service and save money with your new loan or credit card, you'll also be giving money back to the participating parish or school you care about. Let Notre Dame Federal Credit Union elevate all participating parishes or schools. Elevate can be reached at 844-230-6611 or visit us online at ndelevate.com. Independent from the university.
With Sean McBride, welcome back to Darcy Stadium. I'm Joe Parson. We have not laughed for excitement here in the early moments of this ball game. Cougars got on the board. This will now be, they anticipate it's going to be the first snap from scrimmage following the kickoff. But 7-6 Taylor on the board and in the lead. Good answer by the Trojans to that opening kickoff.
Yeah, the play calling there was really spot on. Again, the passing was setting up the run, and then the play action was executed very, very well. And so the Cougar defense is going to have their hands full all day.
Gunderson approaching, drives it. That's a squib ball fielded up front that Ryan Johnson hops on it at the 43. had a little problem initially trying to corral that bounding ball. But USF, they're not going to take a chance on Green. So they say, first time fool me once, shame on them, and you fool you twice, shame on me.
Yeah, so again, short field situation here for the University of St. Francis Cougars as they'll come out on offense. Ferrer and company on senior day. Let's see what they can do here.
And it looks like we may see Zach Gagner back in there. He's been kind of in and out a little bit the last couple of weeks, battling a back injury. Too wide to the left, and we'll see Nick Ferrer. Ferrer, the #1 quarterback in the MSFA. Play action, and he looks. He's got plenty of time. Throws over the middle. He's got a man down there, and that ball is caught by Chrisman at the 15-yard line. He was battling, Sean, just for body position on the defender.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job adjusting to the flight of the ball that time. The defender was right there on his back, playing a little patty cake, and he was able to get just enough separation and great concentration coming up with that ball.
Nice to have 6'5" working for you as a wideout. And now there's a penalty flag is thrown right at the snap, and that's going against St. Francis. It was Chrisman that he just caught the ball. He jumped a little bit before the snap. That'll cost him 5. Ball was at the 15. That'll take it back on the penalty to the, well, now they set it down at the 19. So it'll be first and 15 from the 19-yard line.
You have to think Chrisman might have gotten the play call again to try and finish that drive if he was going to go on an up-and-out pattern there. Just a little eager to try and score a touchdown here.
Chrisman stays in. He's tight to the left side. Running back is Green. Ferrer out of the pistol. Hands to Green. No, play. That did give to Green, but boy, they were waiting for him, and that's a loss.
Big time pressure that time coming from the defensive end position right there. I believe that was 56, Ramirez. Just did a fine job crashing in from the DN position and really blew it up right in the backfield.
Jeremy Ramirez comes in, 12 tackles, 3 sacks. That's a loss of about 6 yards, so it'll be second down now with the ball at the 22-yard line. And second down and much longer. Ferrer now looks again off the read option and wants to throw. Pressure's coming, throws to the right, crossing pattern, and John Boswell cannot make a one-handed catch on that, and suddenly becomes third down.
Yeah, that was a really hot ball as Ferrer was flushed out of the pocket, rolling to the right. He gunned it down the field, and Boswell got one paw on it, but the ball was too hot. He couldn't maintain control.
Darius Stanley was coming with pressure, 5'11", 295-pound senior defensive tackle. Cougars, this is not a gimme today. You've got to come prepared because Taylor, they will play 60 minutes. Third down and long with the ball at the 22-yard line. 3rd and 18. They've got to get down to about the 5-yard line on this snap. Well, Kevin Donley may say, you know what, we're in 4-down area. Rixey comes in. By the way, Rocky James is dressed today. The expectation is he may not play, or if so, very little. Rixey, the lone wide to the short side to the right. Ferrer looks that way, looks over the middle, has time, throws it. Boy, he had an open man initially. That was Boswell, but the ball sailed a little bit on Nick, and it'll bring up 4th down and long.
Yeah, really a poor finish there for this drive for the University of St. Francis, as when the field got shorter, they really couldn't get anything done through the air or on the ground. Now the interesting call. It's going to be 4th and long, about 18 from the 22, and it looks like the offense is still on the field.
Yeah, if you were thinking Gavin Gardner, he does have a long of 35 this year. Had 5 in a row, was broken by a miss last week. 2 wide now, spread offense either side of the field for Ferrer out of the gun. Rixey in motion, and here's Ferrer. Checks off, he's going to be hit again, trying to spin away, and he's down at the 30-yard line. And it'll be a 4th down stop for Taylor, and they'll take over the football at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, tremendous pressure. Ben Lupert that time from his DN position, number 42 for Taylor. Got around the edge, got some backside pressure, and was able to wrap up Nick Ferrer from the top down. Again, not allowing him to release that ball. So again, hats off to Taylor. They came to play on both sides of the ball.
Well, they were especially effective and impressive with that answering drive to take the lead at 7-6, and now they've got the ball again. And probably much better field position than they anticipated. Cougars had it down deep at the 15, at the 14, but could do nothing with it. Now the read option again, they'll hand the ball off and nothing there. Right back to the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1 for the running back.
Jamesich doing a fine job shedding his block and being right there at the point of attack, put his shoulder right into the running back and dropped him very quickly.
Spencer Crisp, he's a sophomore at 5'10", 190. Stays in, he's lined up behind Pollard, offset to the left side. Bunch line up to the right on 2nd down and 9. Pollard out of the pistol, long count, hard count, trying to draw the Cougars off. He did that successfully twice in the first series. Clock approaching 9.5 minutes, time remaining in this opening quarter. Pollard now looks right, delivers right, bubble screen, that's a low ball, and I think it hit the turf. It's either going to be a catch for a loss, or one official, I think they're going to call it a catch, maybe.
I think they are, and he was on the backside of that receiver. I thought for sure I saw that hop, but really it's fortunate for St. Francis because they're calling it a catch, and that is a loss on the play.
So that brings up 3rd down and 10 for the Trojans. Last week on 3rd downs, they were 7 of 19 for 37% for the year at 44%. And they've got to get out to their own 41. 3 wide to the left. Pollard empty backfield now. 2 wide to the right. Barking out the signals again. Short drop. Looks now. Throws over the middle. Tip ball incomplete. Trying to go to Holbein once again over the middle. So it will be 3 and out for the Trojans. And the Cougars will get it back once again. Sean Boswell back in there now, dropping back in punt return.
Pollard took a shot from Eric Hemmelgarn there, the nose tackle, as they got in just as he released that ball, and could have thrown off the trajectory. But regardless, it's 4th and long, and here comes the punt team.
Gunderson with 7 punts last week in Michigan, had a long of 50, averaged about 35 yards a punt. Waits back at the 17, steps into the kick high. That's a hanging spiral. Boswell's got it to the 45, takes tacklers up the midfield. So USF with their 2nd official possession of the ball game. Very good field position right about midfield, but trailing it here at home at 7-6.
Yeah, again, the previous drive there, the Cougars really weren't able to do much, even trying a 4th and long conversion. And let's see what they do here with another short field opportunity.
Cougar offensive line averaging about 280 a man. Connor Holcomb at center. Austin Smoger and Jalen Gamble the guards. And Nick Shoemaker and Alex Woods are the tackles. Right from the 50-yard line. That's where this drive starts for St. Francis, down 1 here at home. Ferrer taking a look at that defense again, looking, and gives to Green, cuts to his right, and got to about driving down to the 46-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 4.
A good, safe, conservative play that time, testing the defense through the interior, getting it to the outside then. And a good 4-yard carry on 1st down.
Sean, we noticed with this Taylor defense, Jack Bronkema, who led them with 9 tackles last week out of his cornerback position, they have a lot of tackles made by their secondary. That can be kind of a double-edged sword because you wonder, that means that the running offense is getting a lot of penetration,
right? Possibly.
2nd down and 6 from the right side hash mark. Now Ferrer gets ready to take that snap once again. Snap back to him, looks left. Throws the ball tipped and dropped. That's incomplete. It was a tip ball. Big defensive lineman that time got in there. Might have been Bostic at 6 feet.
Bostic or Rupert, 41 or 42 there. Again, now the USF Cougars are facing a 3rd and we'll call it manageable 3rd and 6, but you'd like to see them avoid these situations with some shorter yardage opportunities.
You mentioned Ben Rupert, he goes 6'3". Need about 6 yards trying to get down to the 40-yard line on this snap. 2 wide either side. Rixey a little bit of motion, resets in tandem now. And here's the pressure coming again, and Ferrer looks over, throws in traffic, and Rixey can't find it. Was that ball intercepted? No. Came close, and Cougars have some problems early on, and they'll bring in the punt team now. And again, problems moving after a good field position. They'll have to bring in Joe Nepper to punt the ball away.
Yeah, what we see, the pocket dissolving quickly on Ferrer, and really great coverage so far by the Trojan secondary from Taylor.
Nepper did not punt last week. He is number 10 among all punters in the MSFA. Has had a long of 45 this year. Nobody back deep for Taylor. They're a little bit suspicious. Here's the direct snap, and Nepper does punt it away. Hanging ball, Cougars trying to get down. That one takes a bounce at the 5. Bounding down, down inside the 3. That's where it's touched, and that'll put Everett Pollard 1st and 10 for the Trojans, but from their own 3-yard line.
Well, and again, the Trojans on offense on their last drive that stalled and gave University of St. Francis great field position. So these teams are kind of trading punches back and forth here a little bit, and somebody's going to have to break some additional ice to get some positive momentum here. But the Trojans are facing a really tough road here. 1st and 10, about their own 5-yard line. That's a long field.
Sean, I'm a little bit at a loss to explain why that ball's at the 5. It was not touched till it was the 3, but that's where they put it. And Pollard takes the snap right about the goal line. Looks to hand the ball off, and Crisp works to the right side. Got nudged across the 5. Got a couple of yards out to about the 7, maybe close to the 8.
Pollard doing a fine job there selling that fake. Again, this is going to be an inside handoff, but then he continues the route to run around the edge. So they're going to have to keep an eye on that if, in fact, he decides to keep the ball instead of handing it off.
That's a great point. He has run for 3 touchdowns and 157 yards this year. Approaching 7 minutes, time remaining in the opening quarter, still 7-6 Taylor. Here is a short drop and a throw to the right. That's a catch made. Cougars able to concede that. Catch is out across the 10 to about the 11. So we'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, Lee Stewart out there along with Eric Dutton flowing out to the coverage from his linebacker position. Limited that gain. Brings up a 3rd and 3 here.
Cougars with 3 down defensive linemen right now. Hemmelgarn anchoring the middle. Jordan May at left defensive end. And James Jamesich on the right side. Trying to get to Everett Pollard. And the Cougars show blitz once again. Pollard looks over the middle. He's got an easy catch. And that's a gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. And that's Nick Lamicut. And that's reminiscent of that big catch that he didn't get the distance he did earlier that set him up for their go-ahead touchdown. But enough yardage, and nobody was home to defend.
Yeah, same style play. A very fast play action right there. And we'll call that an interior slant from the end position. And there was a bubble. He hit him, and he got a 1st down.
Just need about 3 yards. He just went across and settled down. There was the ball. Now here's Pollard again. Wants to throw again. Loads up, throws right side. He's got a man down. That's wide and incomplete.
Just a fly pattern down the right side there. Quick release that time and a full sprint by the receiver for Taylor. That is Hodge, number 88, who missed that catch.
6'3" sophomore. Had 2 catches for 103 yards last week against Concordia. So 2nd down in 10s. Clock stopped on the incompleted pass with 6:02 remaining here in the opening quarter. Wilmer Cole, everybody coming up, not really dropping off right now for defensively purposes USF. Here's Pollard in trouble now, steps up, runs to his left, got a blocker in front, cuts to the 20, got to the 23. Boy, he was in trouble for a moment, but then the C's open to the left side with a blocker in front.
Yeah, that was going to be a middle screen right there, but unfortunately for the Taylor faithful, he couldn't get that ball away. There was too much pressure. He had to tuck it and run, and he was able to find, like you said, Joe, there was an open spot in the field, and he ran right forward and is now looking at 3rd and 5 coming up.
Trojans trying to get out to their own 28-yard line on this snap. Clock inside, 5.5 minutes remaining in this opening quarter. 7-6 Taylor. Pollard with a bunch line up to his right side. 1 wide to the left. Barking out the signals. Looks, short drop. Looks, loads, fires right side. He's got a catch close to the 1st down. Let's see if he's got it. I believe they've got enough yardage, and they'll move the chains.
Yeah, boy, about 6 inches. But it was completed, and it was good. So, boy, the Cougars could have used a stop there, but Taylor keeps the drive alive. Wow.
Well, they have been impressive so far. Again, by and large, the short possession type passes by Everett Pollard. Comes in having completed 179 of 291 to start the day. 1,763 passing yards, 16 touchdowns. He has been intercepted 9 times. And he is averaging 220 yards a game through the air. At 328, though, last week in Ann Arbor. Pollard wants motion this time. From left to right, looks to screen the ball, has got a catch. That's a run by Hodge again, steps out of bounds just across the 30-yard line for a short gainer.
Yeah, just hit him. He was the outlet pass. He was coming in motion across left to right. And when nothing developed downfield. He just threw that outlet pass, and Hodge was able to get up the field for a little bit of a game.
Gets a couple of yards to bring up 2nd down and 8. They'll work from the right side hash mark. Grant Holbein now stays in. He'll be up in the slot to the left side. Spencer Coward's got the assignment defensively against Holbein. That'll be a big matchup all day long. Now Pollard steps away, still 12 on the play clock. Checks that Taylor bench, how they want to run the play. Cougars with 2 safeties back and cover 2 defensively. On 2nd down, Pollard gets ready for the snap. Now looks, read option, and the ball pop free, and St. Francis comes up with it.
That they do. Look at that.
That's Jamesich came up with a loose ball. First turnover of the ball game.
So what they were doing is setting up a read option there. There was a bad mesh point between the running back and the quarterback as he was indecisive on giving that ball or keeping it. And then the ball squirts out of the quarterback's hands, and who's there but Jamesich on the big fumble recovery.
Now let's see what the Cougar offense can do with that. They trail with 3:48 remaining in the opening quarter, 7-6. Barrera comes out. Green will be the running back. Rixey's out there already, split wide to the right. Other than that, it's a kind of a tight formation. Boswell now in the slot to the right side. And they'll give to Green a little stop and go move, and he's got running room, cuts to the 20, 15, and he will win the race to the end zone. Justin Green, one play after the fumble recovery, good for 27 yards and a touchdown run, and the Cougars answer with a score to take the lead at 12-7.
There's Justin Green. I've had enough of this. And he put the ball in his hands, and a nice 27-yarder. Started through the middle, went out to the outside, found an outside block, and went to the house.
Justin Green ran for 3 touchdowns last week. Well, his 2nd of the day. The first came on the opening kickoff, good for 96 yards. Now he's got the first one rushing touchdown from scrimmage. And St. Francis, who led it early 6-0, trailed 7-6, and now back on top at 12-7. And it looks like St. Francis may try to go for 2 here, or will they? They'll bring Green back on and trying to make it a 14-7 lead.
Joe just talked to Bill Scott. We got an interesting factoid after this play.
Here we go. Ferrer now takes a look. Can't find anything right. Steps up. Looking. Throws over the middle. And that one's nearly intercepted. So it'll be an incomplete try for 2. And Sean, if you've got the information, we'll set you up.
Absolutely. Yeah, Bill Scott just gave me the information. Justin Green that time has tied a school record with 20 touchdown runs in a season. That 27-yarder was a big one for Justin Green.
Try for 2 fails. 12-7. Cougars will step out. Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Hey, it's Kyle from The Kyle Hyman Show, heard weekdays from 7 to 8 a.m. here on Redeemer Radio. And every morning we meet you where you are, getting out of bed, drinking your coffee, on your way to work, and through prayer, guests, personal stories, sometimes games, we bring you Catholicism with joy and fun to start your day. So don't miss The Kyle Hyman Show weekdays from 7 to 8 a.m. right here on Redeemer Radio.
Well, a good answer by St. Francis following that fumble recovery by James Jamesich at the 27. Took him just one play to get the ball into the end zone on the rushing legs of Justin Green.
Green is now in some very elite company, and there's still more time left in this contest here. He has tied the record for single-season rushing TDs. He is there with Luther Stroder, Corey Jackley, and DC Daniel Carter, all sitting on top of the leaderboard at 20.
Endo Ram kick comes down, taken at the 5. Return across the 15, 20. Angle run to the right, up the middle now, up to the 30-yard line. Big hit, but it'll be Taylor's football, 1st and 10. Kazmarek on the kick return. So we'll see Everett Pollard bringing the offense back on, and they'll try to go to work once again. Now the Trojans trailing it with 3:34 remaining in the opening quarter, 12-7.
That was a big stick by Casey Cole, number 81. He is normally a wide receiver. He's a freshman out of Tri-West, and he brought the wood on that hit.
Getting some time on the special teams on the kick coverage unit. Let's see if they stay with Spencer Crisp back there as the running back. And meanwhile, here's the stretch handoff. And no, I think that's Lefevre in there now. Tries to turn to his right, but not much there. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage only at the 30. That'll be 2nd down and 10 coming up. Lefever's numbers, he does lead them, Sean, with 4 rushing touchdowns this year and 139 yards.
Yeah, he's both those tailbacks, they're sophomores. So, Taylor's got a good foundation to build on these next couple of years. If these kids stay healthy and come back, they could have a very good rushing attack in the next couple of years.
Lefever, a sophomore, at 2'11" and 5'11" as far as his height. Pollard taking a look, flip-flops now. Lefever offset to the left behind Pollard. Here's Everett Pollard looking to throw. Looks left, got a wide open net, was wide, sailed on him. Looking near side for Kyle Kempton. But even at 6'3", that junior had no opportunity on that catch attempt.
No, he needed to be about 7 foot tall to get that one. Ball was thrown well behind him, and nice tight spiral, but just not on target at all.
Now the Trojans face 3rd down and 10. Interesting, they take Lamica out, as he's been probably the most productive receiver so far today. On 3rd down and long, they've got to reach their own 40. 3 wide to the left for the Trojans. They'll offset the running back to the left once again. Pollard looks, drops to throw. Looks, pumps, pulls it down, throws again high, and that one was to the bench somewhere and to the Taylor crowd that was in the stands. No chance on that one either, so they go 3 and out.
Well, quarterback eyeing that right side, staring down his receiver. Good tight coverage out there by St. Francis. Really didn't even look to the right where they were flooding the zone.
More and more you think about it, that might have been simply a throwaway.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Cougars do come in with 11 interceptions on the year. They had 2 last week against Lindenwood Belleville, and they had 2 sacks as well. Gunderson ready for the snap at the Taylor 16. Boswell back in punt return. High hanging ball, wobbly. Boswell looking, now has it at the 32. Cuts to his right, gets by 1. Works short of the 40 and then back across the 40 to about the 41. John Boswell getting what he could.
And again, gives the University of St. Francis Cougars a short field position now at the 41-yard line on their side of the midfield stripe. But again, the battle of field position, Joe, so far goes to the Cougars hands down.
Well, they answered that fumble recovery last possession with a 27-yard touchdown run by Justin Green. Record-setting run. We're tying it, I believe.
Tying, yes.
And he'll be in right now. Gegner off on the wing, offset to the left side. They look as a blocker. Green looking for running room, not going to find it. As he stood up, and boy, Cameron Gray, the linebacker, nobody got a shoulder pad on him, the 240-pound senior. And he leads the Trojans with 10 quarterback hurries, by the way, this year.
Yeah, there was nothing there in the middle, and Green had to try and go out to the outside. And who did he meet but big number 9 right there? And he didn't let him get any yards whatsoever.
Taylor challenges everything. And you got to be very, very careful on this team. Just 3 wins on the year, but that can be a bit deceiving. Chrisman comes in wide to the left side at 6'5". And they'll have Tyler Gehrig on him. He's 5'11". 2 wide to the left. Here's Ferrer wanting to throw. Rush is coming to screen the ball. Green to the 40, 45. Tripped up from behind. Holds on to the ball. He'll have progress up to about the 48. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 call.
And again, we see how dangerous Green is. He outran that coverage from the screen. He had 3 guys on him. And, now we've got a Taylor player down in the middle of the field.
That's Cameron Gray, who 2 plays ago made the stop for a loss against Green, but went down to 2 knees. And they'll tend to him with a timeout. 1:26 remains here in the opening quarter. USF on top, but just 12-7. We'll be back. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, WRDF 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
A clean office space. Okay, that's an easy choice. And choosing the right company to clean your business is easy too. Siokas Professional Cleaning is the choice of a lot of Fort Wayne companies because of the 100% satisfaction guarantee. Siokas does it with built-in check systems to make sure your business is cleaned beyond your expectations every time. First impressions are critical, so make sure yours is always the best with professional cleaning from Siokas. The best people, the best service. 483-2112 or online at siokas.com.
Back at Darcy Stadium with Sean McBride, I'm Joe Parson. Cougars with 3rd down. They need 3 yards. Just short of midfield with the ball. Empty backfield now. Here's Ferrer. Looks. Can't find anything. Flush to his right. Now works back to the left. Still time. Loads, fires it downfield. Looking, and there's a catch. Boswell got behind the defense. Gathers it in at the 16-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 15.
4 defenders back there, and Boswell still able to make that catch. Unbelievable presence to find that open area. And look at Ferrer back there avoiding pressure, keeping the eyes downfield, and hitting a strike to Boswell. Beautiful play.
Sean, I got to tell you, I looked downfield. All I saw was white jerseys. Who was he throwing to?
Yeah.
And there was little Sean Boswell behind everybody. Kind of got lost down there.
Yeah.
Sean goes just 5'9". So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Approaching the final half minute, and they'll give the green again. Off tackle, he's got a chance again, and steps out of one tackle, still on his feet at the 10, stumbles down to about the 6 before going down. And Justin, there's a penalty flag back at the 10-yard line.
Oh, no.
So we're blocking the back. Offense, number 7. 10-yard penalty for the foul. Replay, first down.
That'll back him up. That is Rixey that got the block in the back call. So the penalty, the yardage walk-off outside the 15, back around the 17-yard line. That's not all that much of a net loss, but again, you had the ball down inside the 5.
Yeah, it's a red zone mistake, and you try and limit those as much as humanly possible. So, yeah, that's a tough one, but like you said, Joe, it's let's see what they can do to get that back.
Digner, by the way, basically offset to the left. And here's Ferrer looking, time of the pocket again, over the middle, throw, and he's got a catch by Ritchie. Roaming the back ends line of the end zone. Good for 18 yards and a touchdown with 8 seconds remaining in the quarter.
Beautiful completion by Ferrer that time, throwing it into the center of the end zone where Rixey created separation on the post route and was dragging a defender behind him, but the ball was delivered absolutely spot on. Just a beautiful throw.
Cougars now will bring Gardner in to attempt the extra point, trying to make it a 19-7 lead, a lead of 12. Nepper with the hold. Whitefoot, his kick is on the way, and let's see if this is good. It is. So 19-7, Cougars by 12 when we return to Darcy Stadium. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Do you have a devotion to Lady Guadalupe? Travel with Redeemer Radio Odysseys to Mexico City and see firsthand the tilma of Juan Diego bearing the image of the Holy Virgin Mary. Register by February 28th to save $100 on your trip.
To find
We got one more 30 in the first.
Odyssey, visit Redeemer Radio Odysseys on our website at redeemerradio.com or call me, Tina Schneider, at 260-436.
Braces and Invisalign. Treatment for children, teens, and adults. At Afdent, we've got the orthodontic services that are right for you. And when you visit today, you can receive 0% APR for up to 30 months or an easy extended term payment plan. Plus up to $500 of free dental work to get started. You can get a great deal on a great smile at Afdent, Fort Wayne's most preferred dental provider.
Other day at the office, we're going to phone one in, but they can't do that against Taylor. But you're right, consistently we see that, Joe. They need their wake-up call, and once they get it, boy, are they on fire.
Hodge back in kick return once again. Gardner approaches, drives the ball near side, end over end. That'll be fielded at the 3. Return across the 10, 15, 20, and big hit at the 23-yard line. As I believe that was Ryan Johnson?
Ryan Johnson. Yeah. Ryan Johnson delivering a blow right there and stopping that receiver in his tracks. And again, a good job by that special teams unit limiting that gain. And Taylor will not have a great field position. It's okay. It's north of the 20.
You ever thought about those guys full speed, breakneck speed coming down, and what hits are absorbed on those kickoff returns?
Yeah. I try not to think about it. It makes my teeth hurt.
Not for you, not for me, buddy. That's why we're up here. Spread offense, 2 wide either side. Pollard short drop. Thought about the draw, and now that's a miscommunication, and he's wrapped up back around the 19, 20-yard line. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. So it started well, then not so well, but right now USF on top, Ranked number 1, they lead, visiting Taylor 19-7. After one quarter here at Darcy Stadium, this is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM Northeast Indiana.
Joe, this gets us caught up with breaks. Do you want me to take a 60, though?
You can, yes.
Okay.
A large selection of quality used tires to save you money. We do all types of auto repairs, be it brakes, alignment, or just fix your air conditioning. Tom Steele Tire, North Clinton or Illinois Road. Give us a try. You'll be glad you did.
Hello, sports fans. This is Father Bob Garrow, chaplain at Bishop DeWanger High School. It is time to get geared up for our fall sports season. Whether competing on the soccer field, golf or cross-country course, volleyball court, or on the gridiron, we wish good luck and great sportsmanship to all our student athletes and their teams. May we become the saints we are called to be. Saint Sebastian, pray for us.
Cougars came in averaging just under 50 points a ball game. That is tops among all MSFA football teams. And a little spotty start, Sean, but now with 19 on the board, we head to quarter 2 action. It'll be 2nd down and 13. This time the Trojans move from left to right as Pollard buys time, rolls to his right side on the out pass, throws complete. That's a catch at the 26. Got it into the hands of Danny Boy.
Danny Boy doing a fine
Love
job.
that, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I can't. It's fantastic. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Boy, for naming your child Daniel, and we're having some good fun with it. But he's a great athlete, and they did a fine job on a little hitch route that time, just getting that yardage back from the sack and creating a 3rd down opportunity that Taylor has been in before and could make.
6-foot junior had a touchdown catch last week in Ann Arbor. Brings up 3rd down and 6, though, for the Trojans, trying to get out to their own 34. Cougars again have got 9 men, now 10 men up close to the line of scrimmage. Now they drop 2 safeties back. Pollard looks, dumps it over the middle. He's not going to get it.
No.
That's a catch by Lamica, but only to about the 27.
No, Dutton sniffed that out. He saw him coming out from the tight end position, going across, and yeah, he was having nothing to do with that.
Cougars have been fooled a couple of times early by Lamica, left them wide open, not so much lately.
Not so much. This defense has stepped up their game. When we look at the drives for Taylor, they really haven't done much after that touchdown drive, and that's because of the USF defense.
Gunderson back to punt it away. Came in at the start of the game with 47 punts, has a long on the year of 52 yards, has been averaging about 35.5 yards a punt. That's 9th best among all punters in the MSFA.
They're coming.
Rush is coming, got it away, high hanging kick. Boswell this time. Oh, he got hit well before the ball. And boy, that anybody that brought a flag is going to throw it, and that almost is personal foul type.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's almost inexcusable.
Oh, yeah, you better take him off the field. Good heavens.
I don't know, Sean. That maybe calls for ejection.
That was inexcusable. Boswell was there. Half the team is coming off the sidelines. Coach Donley is waving them back. He wants to talk to the official. That was a blatant penalty.
I mean, the ball was nowhere near him yet, and you've got to worry about Sean Boswell. He's a valuable
15-yard penalty.
Oh, that should be an unsportsmanlike conduct, bare minimum. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Kevin Donley's calling. Well, he wanted to talk to Jeff Gwynn, who won't accommodate him.
No.
But that's the way it is. But boy, that one, you know, I know Ron Korfmacher does not coach his players that way.
No, he does
not. And Lamica, you know, he's a good player, but I think he just got caught up and he saw Boswell right for the picking and nailed him well before the ball got there.
Well, we saw this a little bit last week, Joe, when they were taking on Lindenwood, and that is a very frustrated team, and you have to wonder if Taylor is getting frustrated at this point, because that was a play out of frustration right there. That was really inexcusable and most definitely uncalled for.
Well, and Boswell not in there to start this series. Instead, Duke Blackwell comes wide to the left side. So USF does work 1st and 10 from the 44 of Taylor. Stepping up is Ferrer, throws near side Rixey, cuts at the 37, lost the football. It's up for grabs and Taylor's got it at their own 46-yard line. That one was recovered by Darius Stanley.
Just a good open field tackle there by Taylor, getting in and getting a paw on that ball and knocking it loose. So a short field opportunity coming up for Taylor here, and the defense is back on the field for the Cougars.
So we have seen some momentum swings already in this ball game with 13-13 remaining until intermission. And now Pollard will have an opportunity with very good field position, just short of midfield. His team trails 19-7. They'll bring this big offensive line back on the field once again, averaging over 300 pounds a man tackle to tackle. And let's see if Crisp is back in there now as the running back. As Pollard now barks the signal, stretch handoff. Here's Crisp. We're looking, and boy, since Pearson Harnish was there, and nothing doing. He'll lose yardage back around the 43-44-yard line of Taylor.
I think they will, and I sense this defense is not going to put up with Taylor's offense at this point if they can, because you're going to take shots like that personally, and I got to tell you, if I was a USF Cougar right now, I'd be a little steamed at the way the Taylor was playing.
Even the Nuns are upset. Do it in front of us. They're not throwing anything.
No.
Second down and 12. Blitz coming up the middle once again. Pollard looks and penalty flags. And that threatened blitz might have caused Taylor to flinch a little bit. It is going to be procedure. False start against Taylor. That'll cost him another 5 yards.
Yeah, so Taylor playing again behind the sticks on this drive here. It was 2nd and 12. Now it's going to be 2nd and 17 right here. And again, the USF Cougar defense showing good pressure and getting the big uglies up front for Taylor a little bit nervous.
Looking here on the near sidelines, by the way, Will Chrisman and Justin Green talking to Rocky James, who is dressed but sitting on the bench right now without a helmet. And Sean Belswell just put his helmet back on. So I think the cobwebs have cleared. But meanwhile, it's going to be Pollard dumps it off. He's got a screen set up, and that's no one go where once again. Lee Stewart read it perfectly. Knocked down Crisp for a loss back inside the 40.
When you pull those linemen out there to be your lead blockers, they have to be fast.
That's a clue, isn't it?
That's it. That's right. And they were not fast enough for Stewart as he streaked right in there. And again, no gain on the play whatsoever. Actually, a little bit of a loss back in the 39.
Yeah, when you see those three linemen, they're not going to the Golden Arches. Although they could. Third down and even longer. 3rd and 17, back now at the 39. They've got to get down to the Cougar 44. Pollard looks, throws it as far as he can. That one's up for grabs, and the catch is made at the 43. That's good for a first down.
Wow.
And that's Hodge that just went up and over and took it away.
Look at that height. Hodge doing a fine job stretching for that ball up in the air right at the sideline stripe, and he was able to come down with it.
They have got athletes on this Taylor team. Hodge will stay in. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the USF 44-yard line, despite all those previous losses on plays. Hodge now sets up on the wing, one wide to the left. Play clock at 12 for Pollard. Pollard looks and looking on a reverse, coming to Hodge, trying to get to him. Boy, there's got to be on Coward. There was a look like a big hold, but no penalty flag do we see.
No. Again, they limit the game. Good stretch that time. The defensive pursuit with the angles and the speed were very good. As I believe that was I think Coward came up and knocked him out of bounds.
He was trying to get outside. He just could not get away. But it'll be officially a gain of about 3 yards, 2nd down and 7. Spencer Coward still, he knows what was missed last snap. Now, Taylor with pretty much a tight formation to the left side hash mark. One wide to the short side. Pollard out of the pistol and looks. He'll give it off to Chris. Chris slides to his right. Brings it inside the Cougar 40. Still driving down to the 36-yard line. Pretty good run by that 5'11 sophomore Spencer Crisp.
Yeah, this is what you get when you've got man-to-man over 300-pound average there on that offensive line. Just a very nice push that time. And the defense needed a lot of help, but they finally did bring him down.
3rd down and short now, 3rd and a couple. Cougars, let's see how they set up. They will have 4 men up on the line of scrimmage. Pollard with again, was there encroachment?
Not yet.
Well, there was a little head bob and a hard count trying to draw St. Francis across. And Pollard pitches the ball right side. Chris has got Green to work with and cuts to the 30-yard line. There's a penalty flag. That time they caught Hodge.
That they did. Hodge was trying to do an open field block there and just basically tackled the defender out there.
It's always interesting when you look at these guys that are flagged. They turn around with the palms extended. What did I do?
Huh? I wasn't even in on that play. Yeah, right. Well, yeah, Wilmer Cole was the defender out there who didn't really stand a chance because he was getting dragged down, so that it will be a penalty against the Trojans.
Well, they had the first down, but now the penalty will move them back. They'll set it down at the USF 43-yard line. It remains third down, but 3rd and 9. Again, one of those big third down calls trying to reach the USF 34-yard line on this snap. 9:40 remaining, clock moving here. In the second quarter, 19-7, St. Francis ranked number 1 unbeaten. Cougars again show blitz up. Here's Pollard, rolls to the left, dumps it off to the side. That one is knocked away. Ryan Johnson played it perfectly.
Beautiful job.
Reached out with that left hand just to swat it away. And it'll be 4th down, and Taylor will bring in the punt unit.
He took his interior hand that way, so he was not able to make contact with the receiver with his right, and just swatted that ball away. Did a great job of timing his jump. And again, the 4th down coming up, and the punt team is on for Taylor.
And look who's back there. Sean Boswell will set up at the USF 10. This kid is all heart, and he is just a warrior. Took just a hellacious hit, but back in there now to receive this punt. Gunderson from the 45. Here's a nice hanging football once again this time. Sean does call fair catch. And now there's some extracurriculars where there was some O's and Ahs down there, but it'll be St. Francis ball now with 9:22 remaining and up 19-7.
And they're still drawing down there. I tell you what, this kid's tough as nails. Like you talked about it, Joe, he's a gladiator, and he's not having any part of it. Now, what he needs to do is settle down. Start using your body instead of your mouth to play the ball. Oh, gets me fired up.
Coach Donley out there and talking to not only Nick Ferrer, but the backups, Clay Cenarius, Danny Naylor out there as well. Now the offensive unit comes out. Cougars were moving the ball. They had a catch by Rixey, but Dan then coughed it up. But no harm, no foul. And St. Francis still with the 12-point lead, and the ball back 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line. Here's Ferrer looking and screens the ball in little flats. Little stop and go move right side. That'll be a gain across the 20 to the 22-yard line. And we got another flag here on the near side.
On the near side away from the play, Joe.
So the head linesman threw that flag. He'll talk to Jeff Gwynn, who will let us know momentarily if that goes against St. Francis. Now they're going to bring in another couple of officials to talk it over. 9:16 on the clock. St. Francis idle next Saturday, completing their regular season today. And then they'll wait a week from Sunday for the rankings, the final rankings, and the pairings.
Turn the play. Unnecessary roughness. Offense number 75. Active distance and final foul. Replay. 1 down.
That one goes against Alex Woods. Unnecessary roughness was the call, so it'll be half the distance to the goal.
Woods, the left tackle there, checking in at 6'2", 265, one of the senior leaders here on the offensive line for the USF Cougars.
So the penalty takes the ball back inside the 10 to around the 9-yard line.
This is the dangerous part. When the game gets chippy here, the officials up their scrutiny, and so you've got to remove emotion from the game here if you can, and just play some smart football.
You know, I think there's still some ill feeling, shall we say, about the Cougars on that hellacious hit against Sean Boswell. But again, you got to have that next play mentality and put it out of your mind. Here's the give to Green. Works off tackle right. He was tripped up by an ankle. Otherwise, he had a big gain. As it is, he brings it out to the 15.
Yeah, I believe that was Jackson Bronkema, the sophomore. Luckily for the Taylor team, gets a hand out there and he trips up Green because he would have been off to the races, Joe. You talked about it. He had open field in front of him, and his speed is really kind of unmatched on the field.
Clock will move inside of 8.5 minutes now. Time remaining in the first half. 2 wide to the left side for Ferrer. Ready to take the snap, looks to Green again. This time he works to his left and trying to turn the corner to 15, 20, 25. Has blockers in front, near sideline. Straight arms one to midfield and then hauled out of bounds. Big game for Justin Green to the 48-yard line of Taylor.
We talked about it. Again, his speed and athleticism and his vision downfield are really unparalleled against this Taylor team. And he made them pay all the way out to the 50-yard line.
Jason Lemunion saved the would-be tackle, or the tackle from a touchdown that time for Green, who has returned a kickoff, 96 yards to open the game. The second week in a row St. Francis has had an opening kickoff return touchdown. Then he's run for a touchdown now. And Ferrer looks to Green once again. Stutter stop again. Now in the clear. And then brought down at the 41. That'll be a gain of 9.
Wow. Very impressive here. Getting great looks through the middle of the line because the offensive line is doing a fine job on their blocking assignments right there and giving him plenty of room to work.
See Justin Green with that little skipping move right after he receives the ball, looking, judging where the hole might be. There'll be a gain down to the 40, just inside the 42-yard line, outside the 41. Ball basically placed in the middle of the field with 2 wide again to the right. Ferrer with Chrisman wide to the left. He's got the big height advantage on second down and short. Long count. They'll give the Green. Starts up the middle, cuts left, runs into Lemunion again. Again, a safety that comes up and makes the tackle at the 39, 1st and 10 USF.
Yeah, they're keeping him in the box, if you were there, Joe. And again, just enough for a first down. No problem there. Keep the clock going and keep marching down the field. The Cougars on offense are putting together a nice sustained drive here.
Ryan Sonater checks in for the first time today. Blackwell stays in the slot to the right. Sonater last week 6 carries for 13 yards. He's got 177 yards for the year and a couple of rushing touchdowns. 1st and 10. Now Gangner stays in on the wing to the left side, pointing out something defensively. Ferrer loads, fires a low ball, incomplete. I think Rixey tried to dive for it, but Ferrer muscled up on that one and could not deliver it on target.
Yeah, that was a hot play call right there. He just got the ball and threw it very quickly and was really not able, it was not very much of a catchable ball there. So.
You know, the good thing, Nick recognized it was going to be a tough catch with coverage there. He threw it low and ahead where only Rixey was going to have a chance maybe with a dive to catch that ball. Now 2 wide to the right, now second down and 10. Taylor drops 3 back in coverage. And Ferrer looking, again Sonater starts right, wrapped up, drags Tecklers for a yard about to about the 38-yard line, trying to wrap up and hold on to that football.
Good pressure that time by Cameron Gray, number 9, the linebacker for Taylor, coming in and really limiting Sonater in his opportunities there.
Now Eli Wallace comes into the football game. So Kevin Donley about midway through the second quarter going, that's the 3rd running back of the day used by the Cougars.
I'm guessing he's going to be a blocking back on this one, Joe, on 3rd and 9.
USF trying to reach the 29-yard line on this snap now to pick up the new set of downs. 2 wide to the left, that's the wide side of the field. Ferrer looks, now flush to his right, throws over the middle. He's got Rixey down, he's got the catch at the 10-yard line. They have another yard. It'll be 1st and goal. Covers that time by Dubby Gamble, who does have 3 block kicks this year for Taylor, but 1st and goal for USF inside the 10.
Rixey doing a fine job coming across the middle of the field that time. Ferrer was flush from the pocket, was able to reset, plant his foot, and deliver a nice strike all the way into scoring position here.
Dan with a nice job of timing his leap too. Won the battle for it. Now we have Andreas Gomez-Espino in wide to the right side. Here's a give to Green. Green spins, back pedals, got back maybe to the line of scrimmage. That is it.
Yeah, maybe even a little loss on the play just outside the 10-yard line here, but they're going to find the seam, and they really want him to sit on top of that record book. And here's his opportunity on this drive.
Oh, maybe not, because Snyder will come in. There it goes.
Well, Boswell's checking out, and Chrisman.
Interesting. They're going to keep Green and Snyder in there?
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen that, have we?
I don't think we have. So could this be an I formation with a fullback maybe?
No, they're going to split out Snyder as a wide out to the left.
This is weird. Okay.
Something we've not seen so far this year. Green is the one back. They'll hand the ball to him off tackles. Got some running room. Cuts up the 5, and he high steps it into the end zone. From 10 yards out, Justin Green to the house at the 4:27 mark. That's it. There's your leader right there. Most USF single-season rushing touchdowns. He's sitting on top of the leaderboard, Justin Green, with a great 10-yard run. We'll file that away for the future. Because, boy, I tell you what, the seas parted to the left for Justin Green. Now the extra point attempt coming up by Gavin Gardner. Or no, that's Brandon Grasha in. Well, Kevin's coach is playing everybody today. Here's a ball on the way. That is good. I thought it might have been partially deflected. Still, Grasha gets it to go through. 26-7. With still 4:27 remaining in the half. Cougars on top here at home. Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Stay connected with Redeemer Radio. On the new Redeemer Radio smartphone app, you can sign up for notifications to stay informed with the latest news and programming updates. You can receive alerts for our special broadcasts, The Kyle Hyman Show, Redeemer Reflections, Odyssey Pilgrimage information, and more. Download the free Redeemer Radio app on your smartphone or tablet by searching Redeemer Radio in your Google Play or App Store. Brought to you in part by Notre Dame Federal Credit Union.
Stadium with Sean McBride. I'm Joe Parsons. Sean, you were talking earlier. Yeah, the Cougars celebrating right now. They lead it by 19 points, but you were with me down in Upland a couple of years ago when the Cougars had a big lead. Didn't end quite that easily.
It was time to put the pups in, and then it was time to take the pups out. As far as that goes, this team is dangerous. It's a well-coached program, and they never, ever quit. And so if, in fact, you have a 42-point lead, it doesn't really mean much. You have to finish against this team.
They will play 60 minutes at you every time. Return inside the 10 from the 7. Up the middle, a little bit of running room across the 30-35. And that's Hodge caught from behind, but not before he brings it out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. If there's been any Achilles heel a little bit this season, it probably is going to be with the kickoff coverage unit. And the Cougars have a man down.
And Hodge is down too.
So 2 players are down, 1 for each team. So we will have a timeout here at Darcy Stadium. Let's see, for St. Francis, I think that's Caleb Summers.
Yeah, number 49.
Oh, no, check it. It's not Summers.
Kylan Bass?
That is who they're working on, Bass. And Hodge as well. Hodge is on his feet, but still kind of bent over. So we have a timeout, 4:18 remaining until halftime on Senior Day, 26-7. USF on top by 19. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Join Bishop Kevin Rhodes, Bishop of Fort Wayne South Bend, every Wednesday at noon for his weekly show, Truth in Charity. On each episode, he joins host Kyle Hyman.
We have 4:30s before halftime.
Okay.
We also have that H&L Electric to get in.
Okay.
Tippmann Properties and a Bishop Lures live reads.
Ask Bishop. Truth in Charity with Bishop Rhodes is brought to you in part by Notre Dame Federal Credit Union.
Football fans, just a reminder that H&L Electric is your full-service electrical contractor. From commercial and industrial to residential, H&L Electric can handle the smallest to the largest of projects for your business or residence.
By the way, Bass looks like he's okay. Here's a quick dump-off pass, went low. They're going to call that a catch at the 49. No. Official kind of thought about it, took a look, and Holbein not granted the catch. Tries to present, say, Mr. Official, I had the hands underneath. The official says, no, you didn't, young man. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Interesting to note there, too. Pollard did take a shot, was hit after the throw. So, again, if they can disrupt his timing and keep him throwing quickly, more incompletions.
Outside, they come up and press coverage for St. Francis. Stretch handoff. Here's Chris looking for running room. He will not find it. Cougars also with Matt Muncy now in the ball game. Marcus Stepp credited with in on the tackle as well.
Muncy didn't make the tackle, but he made that play, Joe, when he was able to limit the edge right there and turn that running back inside. Then his buddies were there to clean things up. So tremendous job by Muncy.
3rd down and 10 with Taylor trying to reach the USF 44-yard line on this snap. 3:40 remains in the half. Bunch line up to the right side. Pollard looks that way, throws the ball. Holbein's got it, and he's going to be short of the first down. Gets it into Cougar territory to the 48-yard line. As coming across and helping on that tackle was Mitch Thornberry.
And, of course, providing pressure that time from the corner was number 30 again for the USF Cougars. And Coward just having another great day.
They're going to spot that ball just inside the 49. It'll bring up 4th down and 4. And Georgia's going to bring in the punt team with Austin Gunderson. I'm a little surprised maybe with 3 minutes remaining here in the half, but Ron Kortmacher thinks no. We'll wait for the second half. We're going to get the football. Gunderson back at his own 38, steps into it. He's had a good job, wobbly ball. Boswell calls fair catch. And I think that's Lamica down there, and he thought about it, Sean. You know it, and I know it. And then at the last second, kind of shrugged his shoulders off and let Boswell go.
Yeah. And again, we see Bass, number 49, thought he was good, but now he comes up hobbled. He's getting assistance off the field right now because he can't put any pressure on a leg.
He was walking much better on that previous play where he was injured, but you know, sometimes you want to get out there. You don't get many reps, and you don't get many minutes. You get a chance, and so you're just going to do anything you can to hang in there.
Well, and he's a competitor. You know, he comes in as a sophomore out of Cardinal Ritter, so he knows what football's all about.
Catholic schools down in Indy, they play a little football.
Yeah, a little football here and there.
Cathedral, never a home game.
That's right.
Here's Ferrer looking to hand the ball off, play action fake. He's got Sean Boswell for a first down, 40, 43, 45-yard line. Sean finding the open seam right down the middle. And the Cougars, who, by the way, last week, remember they called timeout and moved the football 53 yards in just under a minute to score a touchdown, and now they've got maybe a 2-minute drive in the making right here.
And you have to think they might be looking to, again, practice this. As Coach talked about in his interview, they didn't really have a lot of opportunities to do their 2-minute drill. So let's see what they do here with 2:25 remaining.
Gegner now in motion to the near side. Here's Ferrer looking, steps up the pocket, throws over the middle. He's got Rixey cuts back. He's at the 50-yard line and to the 49, and I tell you what, he broke somebody's ankles with that cut.
That was tremendous. How they can just stop on a dime after being 0-60 in 2 seconds is just incredible. But Rixey doing a fine job avoiding that tackle and getting some extra yards.
Play net's just 5 yards, but it was exciting to see. Second down and 5 now. Clock inside of 2 minutes. Both teams have got their full complement of 3 timeouts remaining. 2 wide to the right. In the slot is Boswell. They come up and press coverage on him. Rixey wide right. Here's a run. Green trying to get by one, and he does. Oh, they had him by the jersey. He cuts down to the 35 and bumped out of bounds near side. Austin Shope may have saved the touchdown on that one, but it'll be 1st and 10 USF.
Yeah, again, just chunks of yards at a time. They're planning this out very well with 1.5 to go here in the first half. Knowing that Taylor will get the ball to start the second half, they're setting themselves up nicely to make a score and not leave any time left.
Boswell checks out. Now Coach D has got Ferrer here on the near sidelines. Play clock is down to 19, so USF will huddle up momentarily. Now they come up to the line of scrimmage on 1st and 10 from the Taylor 35-yard line. Rixey in the, and it's Duke Blackwell up in the slot down to the right side. And the look play action fake here as Ferrer looks, and he hit as the arm was moving forward. And that should be an incomplete pass.
They call it a live ball. That is, if that's a turnover, that's a terrible call.
His arm was coming forward, and Ferrer is coming over to talk to Jeff Gwynn. Somebody's got to get this call right. His arm was coming forward. Jeff Gwynn, our referee, talking to some of his officials.
Of course, I'm biased, Joe. They're taking way too long to make this call. That was an incomplete pass.
No question about it. Let's see what the ruling will be. Wow, that is a horrible call. Absolutely horrible.
Wow.
Kevin Donley down on the sidelines has not come out on the field yet, but boy, that is just an absolutely horrendous call. Clearly, Ferrer's arm going forward. Ball slipped down. Incomplete. It was only about a 5-yard attempt, but it will be Taylor's football, 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
Wow. very unfortunate call there. Unbelievable. Whatever. Sorry.
So it will be Taylor with an opportunity. Pollard drops the throw, and he lost the football, but they covered up back at their own 26. So the running back jumped on. No, it's actually one of the linemen, Taylor Johnson, at 6'6", 310. In the right place at the right time for Taylor. Yeah,
Deanne Jordan May, number 99, got a paw on that, I believe, as he was trying to get around from the backside and cause that ball to come loose. And so that's going to be a nice tackle for loss. St. Francis just about got it back as Marcus Stepp was in the backfield too, sniffing around there.
Second down after the loss, 2nd and 19 at the 27-yard line. Inside the final minute now of this first half, too wide to the right. Pollard steps up, will run, and dragged down short of the 30 at the 29-yard line. Came with a quarterback draw that time. Did not fool Pearson Harnish, though.
No, absolutely not. Dutton was in there as well. The linebacker core keeping a good eye, ghosting that quarterback who is dangerous. And looks like they're going to have to burn a timeout here.
Going to take a timeout. At St. Francis that calls the timeout. They've got 2 remaining. 42 seconds and change left here before halftime. 26-7 is our score, and we'll step out. Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Do you know that your car is worth more than the no thank you just got from a dealer? Turn nothing into something powerful by donating that vehicle to Redeemer Radio.
Most advanced DRs in the country. At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room, it's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
17 at the 29-yard line. And Pollard trying to get the ball down to his own 46 on this snap. Cougars now dropping off in coverage. Pollard throws near side on the out. He's got a catch at the 40. That is short of the first down. Daniel Boy on the catch, but it'll bring up 4th down and 6. The clock is stopped again. Went out of bounds, I believe. No timeout taken. So
it would have been nice to try and keep him in bounds, and I believe the defenders were trying to do that. But again, they do stop the clock. And but still, the 4th down. It looks like the punt team is coming on for Taylor.
Right now, not seeing anybody back in. Well, yeah, there is Boswell out there. Snuck in on us back at the 26-yard line.
He's only 5'9".
Well, he has taken one big hit here today, among others. Here's the snap. Gunderson, no rush. High, short kick. Boswell runs up to it and catches it. And did not call for a catch and works across the 30 to the 34.
This kid's got brass, I tell you.
Is he nuts or is he just got a heart like a lion?
He does. I tell you what, he is the biggest player out there at 5'9". And he had 4 white jerseys around him. And everyone with the assumption that, well, surely he had to have called a fair catch. Nope, not Boswell. That was fantastic.
And you know what's going through Nick Lamika's mind on that earlier foul? He's thinking, well, see? But you got to let the ball get to him first, Nick.
Yeah.
Was there a penalty?
There must have been. It looks like they're starting a walk-off here against St. Francis.
Did not see a flag thrown.
Nope.
This one will take the ball back inside the 25 to the 24-yard line.
That was a 10-yard call. Maybe it was holding against USF.
So now you've got 2 timeouts remaining, but you're 76 yards away. And we'll see what Ferrer and company have caught in mind with still just 26 seconds remaining in this first half. 26-7 USF. Led early on the 96-yard kickoff return touchdown by Justin Green, then fell behind 7-6. But it's been all St. Francis since then. And Ferrer now has got motion, although reset with that. And here is a run right side by Green. Straight arms one, then brought down at the 26-yard line. It'll be a short gain, and we're down at 17 seconds remaining.
Probably going to do it here unless they hurry up and get another play off.
They're trying to do exactly that. With 9, with 8. Ferrer out of the gun once again. Wants to throw. Takes a look, steps up, being pursued, throws near side. That's Green with the catch, and trying to stay in bounds to the 32, and that will take us to halftime. So it will be USF in the lead here at home on this regular season finale for the Cougars, trying to finish the run undefeated and head to the playoffs 2 weeks from today. 26-7 our score, and we'll be back with our halftime presentation. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Programming on Redeemer.
Joe, 90 seconds here will get us caught up.
Yep, go ahead.
And then during halftime, you've got 2 60-second spots and 3 30-second spots.
Okay.
We've still got that Tippmann Properties and that Bishop Lures live read. We've also got an H&L Electric during halftime.
Okay.
Busher Homes can be reached at 260-490-3355.
The DeHaze Group is a locally owned, full-service insurance agency that has been servicing clients in Northeast Indiana since 1982. We have proven strategies that link our clients to exclusive insurance programs. Kevin Burns is a proud supporter of sports on Redeemer Radio. Call him at 260-424-5600 for all your insurance needs. The DeHaze Group, exceeding expectations beyond insurance.
This is David X with Union Savings Bank Mortgage Department. So happy to support Bishop Lures and Bishop Dwenger student athletes who work so hard to be the best they can be. I'm here to support you too as you look for mortgage lending. If you need a home loan, pick up the phone and call me 418-6191 anytime for low closing costs and great rates. 418-6191. I offer what you want, low closing costs and great rates. Call 418-6191. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's the Halftime Report with scores, stats, and insights. Here's Joe and the sports team.
He missed the opening kickoff. He was in the restroom because of some stomach issues. That opened the door for Matt Komakevich to return the opening kick return for 89 yards and an opening touchdown as St. Francis went on to win that ball game a week ago here Saturday at Darcy Stadium, 70-0. So Justin Green, he gets a chance today, and he says, you know what? Young man, Mr. Freshman Kamowich, if you can do it, I can do it. And he did. 96 yards. He returned that opening kickoff. But the Cougars missed the extra point. They still led 6-0. But very impressive answer after that Cougar touchdown by the Taylor Trojans. They basically marched down the length of the field, set up by Alamica catch inside the 47 yards inside the 5 at the 3-yard line, and that set up a Spencer Crisp 3-yard touchdown run at the 11:47 mark. Gunnarsson with the extra point. And lo and behold, Taylor had the lead at 7-6. But the Cougars would finally get back and answer it on a cut to the right side by Justin Green. That was after a fumble recovery by Jamison at the Taylor 27-yard line. It took just one play for the Cougars to answer at the 3:40 mark. Justin Green to the house with his second touchdown of the afternoon. Cougars trying for 2 points. That failed, but they led 12-7. Then Ferrer would dial up through the air with just 8 seconds remaining in the quarter, firing a touchdown good for 18 yards to Dan Rixey. It was Gardner who would add the extra point. USF had their biggest lead at that point at 12 points. Then we moved on to the second quarter. After a fumble recovery, USF would set up Justin Green once again as he high-stepped into the end zone, good for 10 yards and a touchdown with 4:27 remaining. And that's where we are at halftime at 26-7. Cougars, Sean, have had a couple of fumbles in this ball game. That last one against Nick Ferrer, I will maintain that was not a fumble. His arm was moving forward. But they've also had one fumble recovery that set up the earlier Justin Green touchdown run. But the Cougars came in to this ball game number 1 in the MSFA, plus 13 in turnover margin. So they would be, so far I believe, -1 so far today. And still, of course, 30 minutes of football to go.
Sure, yeah, and again, taking on this Taylor team, you talked about it so far during the broadcast, you have to play 60 minutes against these guys. This is a proven fact. They've got significant potential, they've got some playmakers, and they are exceedingly well coached. I'm with you about the play calling, or the game calling from the officials today. Suspect at best on both of those. Again, we saw Sean Boswell get his clock absolutely cleaned. A defenseless player should have been an unsportsmanlike conduct against Lamica with just a personal foul call. That was a bad call. And then again, talking about the incomplete pass when they rule it a turnover for Taylor there, another bad call. And so it's tough enough when you have to play 11 players. It's even worse when you have to play 12.
You got 5 or 6 officials out there. You would think somebody out there could get it right and have the gumption to step up and say, guys, you're wrong. Here's the way it really went. Nonetheless, it's the lead of 19. We'll be back with Sean. We'll take a look at some halftime numbers as the Cougars trying to run the table this year. They've won 18 straight going back to last year. Trying to make it number 19, but not without a challenge today from Taylor. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
I have a special word for married men, since I'm one of you. Our wives and children need us, faults and all. We are irreplaceable. We're made to be noble knights. Never leave your family. You are needed. God made us men inherently warriors. Just watch young boys playing, how they will quite naturally turn sticks into pretend guns or swords. Let's channel the fight that is in us to love, sacrifice for, and protect our wives and children through thick and thin. It is before God that we made a vow when we became united in marriage with our wives. Let's keep it. Quote, so then, what God has united, man must not divide. Mark 10:9-10. I'm Jim Littleton, forming FaithfulFamilies.com.
Football fans, just a reminder, the St. Felix Catholic Center in Huntington, Indiana offers one-day and overnight retreats with over 70 rooms. Be sure to visit Our Lady in her grotto and walk the 30 scenic acres. St. Felix is the former home of Blessed Solanus Casey, so visit their website at sfcatholiccenter.com to schedule your next meeting or retreat. Joe just handed the first half stats here by Bill Scott, so let's run down the numbers. First, for visiting Taylor, we have on the ground for the rushes, 15 rushes for 9 yards net. Through the air, 119 yards. The quarterback went 15 for 22. So total offense for the Taylor Trojans, 37 plays, 128 yards. For the University of St. Francis Cougars, on the ground, 15 rushes for 95 yards. Through the air, 172 yards. Nick Ferrer going 9 of 14 right there. So total offense, 29 plays for the USF Cougars and a total of 267 yards. When we look down the list a little bit more, some of the more interesting numbers here. Third down conversions, which is something that I like to keep track of here. The Taylor University Trojans, 4 out of 10. And again, that speaks to the USF defense right there. While St. Francis is batting .500, 2 for 4 on third down. Taylor didn't go for anything on fourth down, and the Cougars 0 of 1 for the fourth down conversion. In the red zone, Taylor was 1 for 1 with 7 points on the board, and St. Francis 2 out of 3 in red zone scoring opportunities. Individually for the Taylor Trojans, let's take a look on the ground. Spencer Crisp had 8 carries for a net yardage of 10 yards with a touchdown. Holden Hodge had a carry for 7 yards, and Everett Pollard had 5 carries for a net of -8 yards. Again, that speaks to the USF defense right there. Through the air, quarterback Pollard again went 15 completions on 22 attempts, 119 yards through the air with a long of 47, and was sacked once. Let's see how he dispersed the ball. Lamica had 4 catches for 59 yards. Hodge had 4 catches for 21 yards. Danny Boy had 3 catches for 22 yards. And Grant Holbein had 2 catches, their leading receiver, for 12 yards with a long of 7. Gunderson, the kicker, has kicked the ball for 186 yards with an average of 31 yards per punt. And on the ground for the University of St. Francis, Justin Green, the record holder, 12 carries for 109 yards with 2 touchdowns with a long of 35 today. Ryan Sonater had a carry for 1 yard, and Nick Ferrer got flushed and had 10 yards, but also 10 yards lost, so net of 0 there for Nick Ferrer. Through the air, again, Ferrer went 9 completions on 14 attempts with 172 yards through the air with a touchdown, a long of 43, and was sacked once. And he dispersed the ball accordingly. Dan Rixey, 4 catches, 49 yards, and a touchdown. Sean Boswell, 2 catches, 65 yards with a long of 38. Justin Green, 2 catches for 15 yards. Will Chrisman with a catch for 43 yards. Nepper was into punt once for 41 yards, and Sean Boswell had 3 returns for 22 yards. And of course, again, the kick return by Justin Green, 96 yards and a touchdown to open the game, Joe. So that's a look at our first half stats.
26-7 here at the half. Specialists coming out to warm up right before the start of halftime, and we'll pause. We'll be back with more of our halftime coverage here at Darcy Stadium. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Looking for an orthopedic specialist? Ortho Northeast has been serving the community for 50 years with offices in 3 convenient locations. Dr. John Pritchard is a board-certified orthopedic surgeon with 24 years of experience with O&E and can assist you with the best treatment plan for your knee or shoulder pain. Dr. John Pritchard is looking forward to meeting you and helping with all your orthopedic needs. Call Dr. Pritchard at 260-484-8551 or online at ortho1.com.
With everything you need for baby, plus birth planners, expert physicians, midwives, and more for you.
I'm a Parkview mom.
You can be too. Learn more at parkviewmom.com.
My grandpa taught me years ago, do business with people you know and who know you. That's why I joined Fort Financial Credit Union. Their staff knows I'm busy at college. They set me up with a checking account, a debit card, and an auto loan. With the Fort's mobile app, I can check balances, transfer money, and make my car payment. My grandparents loved doing business with the Fort, and I do too. My future, my family, my Fort.
How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room, it's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Friday Night Lights. Fort Wayne football from the comfort of your own home, or when you're on the go. The same night the pigskin touches the end zone, or is stopped dead in its tracks. 10 teams, 5 games, 1 website, summitcitysports.com. Live stream high school games, score updates, and news hub for all Fort Wayne area athletics. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and summitcitysports.com.
today elsewhere, but in the final games of the regular season next Saturday.
Yeah, the NAIA methodology is a head scratcher, to say the least, and consistency is not one of their strong suits there. So, best advice we can say is just stay tuned, folks, because the road down to Florida is not transparent at this point for the USF Cougars. So again, while we have next week off, the Cougars do. The decisions have not been made, and it's all in flux at this point. But it can be exciting. It can also be a little bit headache ridden and worrisome. But that's the NAIA. That's where we're at.
And how do you got to feel for some of the other teams, because
Sure.
if they're on the cusp, on the bubble a little bit, they don't know until that final rankings come out. Are we in? Are we out? Is our season done? Sometimes you don't know until the last minute. Were you a little surprised, as I was? We saw Kevin Donley going pretty deep into his bench. We saw 3 running backs, in fact, come in, Sonata and Eli Wallace, and that was fairly early in the game, about midway in the second quarter. It looked like Coach Donley just wanted to try to get some players in, and maybe at the same breath trying to save after that hit against Boswell, maybe the light went on.
Yeah, and that could very well be. One thing we noticed down here on this touchdown from Green is that the wideout on this side was Sonata. And knowing Sonata and having seen him play in high school from Bishop Dwenger, he is a tremendous blocker. He is a great blocking back. He's hard-nosed. He runs just like Nicodemus did. So he needed a body out here to contain the defensive, attack. And so maybe that's why Sonata was out here, so that Green had a lane into the end zone, which he did. And so that could be part of it. But again, test your strengths, test your weaknesses, who can do what where, and now would be a great opportunity to do it.
And that's also a formation we have not seen this year. And again,
yeah.
Kevin Donley hasn't coached 20 years and survived for nothing. He is a brilliant strategist, and just kind of here's a little something else for you to kind of think about opposing coaches in the weeks ahead. So we've got the teams beginning to come out, and with their halftime warm-ups, we'll take another timeout, and we get ready as Sean McBride makes his way down, getting ready to check in with Kevin Donley, who's out on the field right now. So we'll be back. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
I have a special word for married men, since I'm one of you. Our wives and children need us, faults and all. We are irreplaceable. We're made to be noble knights. Never leave your family. You are needed. God made us men inherently warriors. Just watch young boys playing, how they will quite naturally turn sticks into pretend guns or swords. Let's channel.
We're down to 1:30 left, Joe.
Okay, just like I say, you should be able to get that.
Wives and children.
Sure.
And then, it is before God that we made a vow when we became united in marriage with our wives. Let's keep it. Quote, so then, what God has united, man must not divide. Mark 10:9-10. I'm Jim Littleton, forming FaithfulFamilies.com.
Coming to you in 2, 1.
Back at Darcy Stadium, Joe Parson with you here at halftime. And Sean McBride getting ready to make his way down to field level, and he'll be checking in with Coach Kevin Donley momentarily as we get ready here. And as soon as Sean's ready, we'll go down with the coach. And let's go down to Sean.
Okay, Joe, thanks very much. Coach Donley, first question for the first. How's Sean Boswell doing?
Okay.
Okay. All right, good. Just wanted to check. He took one heck of a shot there.
No, he's
tough as nails. What was your message to the team in the locker room today?
They're not going to quit. We're going to have to play 30 minutes to win this championship.
Sure, absolutely.
All
right. Everybody doing well and feeling good about it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good stuff. Thanks, Coach. Back up to you, Joe.
Simple and sweet, Coach Kevin Donley, a man that gets his point across in a hurry. Let's take another timeout. We'll be back with a second half kickoff. Cougars on top here, trying to run the table, stay undefeated in the regular season. 26-7 our score. Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Are you suffering from chronic pain? Had a knee replacement, an athlete injured in a game, or you tweaked your back perfecting a golf swing? Choose Indiana Physical Therapy for all your needs. IPT is a cost-effective provider that accepts all insurance plans. We offer the highest credentialed staff in the area, and we're open 7 to 7 to see you the same day you call. Find 17 Indiana Physical Therapy locations near you, and we'll get you back to work, play, and life. Celebrating 29 years, Indiana Physical Therapy. Call 260-209-2464 or visit indianaapd.com.
46 degrees at kickoff. The weatherman said it might get up to maybe as high as 50, 51. But there was more of a growing chance for some showers by about 3:30. So we're hoping we can get this game in before the rain, if it does develop, it would be after this game is over. But so far it's very cloudy, very dark, overcast day here at St. Francis. Cougars won the toss, and they responded with an opening 96-yard kickoff return. So now it will be Taylor to get the football to start this second half, trailing here on the road 26-7. Trojans came in 3-5, 1-3 in the Mideast League. They would need a win today and a win next Saturday against Missouri Baptist when they close out the regular season to finish at the 500 mark at 5-5. Right now, they trail it by 19 points. Cougars with their kickoff unit. They'll kick away from right to left. Hodge back deep in kick return. Here comes Gardner approaching. Deep end-over-end kickoff. That'll be taken at the goal line, a yard deep in fact. Return across the 10, 15, and across the 20 to the 21-yard line. That's where Taylor will go on offense to start this first half on that kick return. And that was taken by Grant Gehrig. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Bring you up, Sean, and get you ready here. You get your breath back after making that stadium climb.
Still no elevators, Joe.
And trust me, there won't be. They promised us, I'm going to go on my soapbox. They promised us a press box expansion this year. We're still waiting.
Here we are.
Pollard in to start now the second half. He was 15 of 22 for 119 through the air. No touchdowns. Wants to throw here. Now flush to his right. Looking, dumps it off. Crossing pattern, no good. There was a little bit of contact there as coming across. Blake Schumacher had the coverage that time on Holbein, but no harm, no foul.
I think if there was a better opportunity on the catch reception there, they may have called something, but really an uncatchable ball there.
Second down and 10 from the 22-yard line. Pollard takes a look from the right side hash mark now. The running back is Spencer Crisp. He's run for a touchdown today. Now backs away. Play clock at 14. Still has time to check off. Too wide to the left side. And Pollard now taking a look again down to basically the shotgun formation. Has the snap and looks at and throws the ball right in that one. Oh, I'll tell you what. That was right through the hands of Daniel Boy, and the Cougars had that one well bracketed. Wilmer Cole was there and had some help.
Yeah, Lee Stewart from the safety position too was right there as well. Spun him down, and the ball just went sailing.
So now it's 3rd down and 10 in the first half. Let's check what they were. I think you said they were 4 of 10 on 3rd down conversions, trying now to get out to their own 32-yard line. Pollard again with 2 wide to the left side. Cougars show blitz. That drops off. There's a throw to the left. They've got a catch and trying to struggle for the first down stick. They won't get there. The gain was by Kyle Kempton up to about the 30-yard line, but that's short by a couple of yards.
So they're going to be 4 of 11 now on 3rd down conversions as the punt team has to come on. Again, field position has been won by St. Francis all day, pretty much, Joe. And again, that's hats off to this Cougar defense, doing a fine job stuffing these drives and making Taylor punt from their own side.
I loved it when you asked Coach about Sean Boswell. He's okay.
He's fine. Why would you ask such a stupid question?
From the 16. Here's Gunderson that might have been partially blocked. And here's Boswell again at the 42, running to his left, trying to turn the corner. Steps out of a tackle at midfield, cuts back to the hash mark, and knocked out of bounds at about the 46-yard line of Taylor. And there's Sean Boswell doing his thing.
That they are. And again, let's see, folks, if in fact you have an opportunity to check the highlight film that comes out, typically posted on Facebook for USF football, we can't overestimate enough the shot that Boswell took. Defenseless player looking up in the sky as the ball was coming down and was absolutely leveled by a Taylor University player earlier in the game.
Unsportsmanlike, kicking team number 90. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Touchdown.
That is the kicker, Gunderson, that draws the unsportsmanlike penalty.
That's number 90's first unsportsmanlike towards disqualification.
Wow.
So that'll tack on 50. And back to your point, John, I don't know how you get up after a hit like that.
Unbelievable that he did. And he's back there playing. You know, it's not enough that he's just resting on the sidelines. He's back there making a contribution, just like that kick return right there, and catching plays, catching passes. And that was almost a net zero punt there, Joe. Look at that after the penalty.
So the Cougars now have it 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. We'll see how efficient they are at cashing in, leading this game 26-7. Ferrer out of the pistol, looks to Green, up the middle, cuts to his right, dragged down from behind, kind of reaches for the football. They're going to rule that ball down on contact.
Yeah, line judge says he was down.
That'll be a gain down to the 31, but you could tell Green was sitting down kind of looking for that football.
Yeah, that was close.
Now Green comes up, flexing a knee a little bit. That'll be a gain of 5. Crispman checks in. Early moments of the second half. Taylor went 3 and out. Boswell sets up on the slot to the right side. Rixey split wide of him. Now they flip-flop Green to the near side, offset a little bit behind quarterback Nick Ferrer. Here's Green again, looking for running room. Does not find much, trying to find his way to the 26. That's about it. Picks up about a yard and a half only to bring up 3rd down.
Not much there on that interior drive as the Taylor defense is doing a fine job plugging those holes. The linebackers coming up and playing. Again, when you look at the opportunities for St. Francis now, keep it on the ground, keep that clock churning, and save conservative play here. Throw when you have to, but so far, let's keep it on the ground and let the clock help us.
3rd down, still about 4. Ball's at the Taylor 26-yard line. Cougars moving from right to left. They reposition Green off to the right side of Ferrer once again. And 2 wide to the right side, and Green again looking for running room. Got to the 19, or to the 24-yard line. That's short of the 1st down. It'll bring up 4th down decision. Got to believe that Kevin Donley will go for it. But via what? Via the air or via the ground?
4th and 2.
Doesn't look like the field goal team is on, so yeah, on 4th and 2, the offense remains on the field.
Got to get to the 22-yard line now, needing a couple. The yardage has been tough today to gain at times for St. Francis. Taylor with just 1 back. Here's Ferrer to throw, dumps it off. He's got to catch Gagner. Gagner inside the 15, gets down to the 9-yard line and knocked down to the turf. Zach Gagner, good. He is a threat. They don't use him a lot receiving, mostly as a blocker. It'll be 1st and goal. Now they move it back to the 10. There you go.
Yeah. Well, on 4th down conversions, they're 1 for 2. So again, they chalked it up to a 50% ratio now on 4th down conversions for the USF Cougars. And Gagner has good soft hands, even with that big body, and he did a nice job that time getting that 1st down.
Crispman splits wide to the left side. And they've got Boswell up in the slot here. Rixey wide to the right, the short side. Here's a give to Green, looking for running room, and he's into the end zone, high-stepping it again from 10 yards out. And what a delight to watch Justin Green carrying the mail.
Another 10-yard score that time by Green, and boy, he is just having a day so far, and good for him. That's fantastic. That is, again, his 3rd touchdown of the day, Joe.
So Brandon Grasha will come in to attempt the extra point. Knepper, I believe, still is the holder. That'll take it to 32-7, pending the conversion attempt coming up here. Here's the right-footed kick on the way, and that looks good and is good. So add 1 to the Cougar total, 33-7. St. Francis with a good start to begin this second half, and we'll be back. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Hi, this is Drew Mariani, heard right here on Redeemer Radio, weekdays from 3 to 4 p.m. As you know, I tackle the hottest issues of the day, offering a unique Catholic perspective and helping you to better understand and navigate the most important issues of our time. I want to thank you for listening and supporting Catholic programming like the Drew Mariani Show. Please prayerfully consider supporting the important work of Redeemer Radio. Once again, thanks for listening, and may God bless you.
Gotta love watching Justin Green with that high-stepping kick that he's gone to more and more, Sean, into the end zone. Delight to watch.
Indeed it is. Once he gets past that linebacker core, he's just able to high-step it into the end zone. Tremendous confidence, great speed, and he is just a joy to watch.
Gavin Gardner now will kick it away. Cougars will tee it up at the 35-yard line.
The Cougars, number 87, Gavin Gardner.
Hodge back, one of the kick returners once again. Right-footed kick, high, end over end. That'll be fielded inside the 5 at the 3. A cut to the right side across the 15-yard line, and now a cut back to the left. And there's some running room as the stop is made, though. Cougars played that one pretty well. Weak side to their right as making that tackle. That was that's Emmanuel Evans, I believe, out there.
Football fans, just a reminder that H&L Electric is your full-service electrical contractor. From commercial and industrial to residential, H&L Electric can handle the smallest to the largest of projects for your business or residence. Call Pete Henry at H&L Electric.
By the way, the kick return by freshman Grant Gehrig for Taylor. Gets it out to the 21-yard line, 1st and 10. So the Trojans seeing the Cougars now, since that 7-6 lead. Here's a little pitch coming to the left side, a gain across the 25 to the 26. You know, there was some extracurriculars out there on the far sideline, but I don't know if you saw it, Sean, but Lee Stewart got involved and then helped up the Taylor player out of bounds on the far side. To me, that shows a lot of character.
It surely does, and that's the way the game should be played. Between the whistles, you're fierce, and after the whistle, you're a gentleman.
2nd down and 5. I believe it's Drew Lefevre back in there as the running back. They flip-flop him off the left. They'll give him the ball, and he runs into Jordan May right at that handoff, and there'll be a gain of maybe about a yard to bring up 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there. Again, I think Taylor is trying to use that big offensive line to its best advantage, and so far the front four for St. Francis defense is really holding their own against these big uglies.
They have some hogs up front, don't they?
They do.
Kind of remind me of the old Washington Redskins.
Yeah, that's right.
3rd down and 3. Taylor trying to reach their own 31-yard line. Now they split out 2 wide to the right side for Pollard. Pollard in that first half did not throw a touchdown, rolls to his right, takes a look, sets, throws, he's got a catch. That's Daniel Boy on the catch and out to the 37 and trying to pick up another yard across the 38.
Boy is a scrapper. It took about 7 silver helmets to bring him down. So he's out there to play. He doesn't want to quit. That's a nice first down there for Taylor.
Pretty well put together at 6 feet, 195. And improving field position now for the Trojans at their own 39-yard line. Clock approaching 9 minutes, time remaining in this 3rd quarter. The Cougars on the board to start the 2nd half. Pollard in that first half was 15 of 22 for 119 yards, no touchdowns. 3 wide to the left side, short drop, throws a screen, got a fingertip catch. That's Hodge. They catch up to him at the 41. That was good pursuit by Blake Schumacher.
Indeed it was, and very close that time to being roughing the passer. The pressure was coming from the backside that time as Jamesic came in and leveled the quarterback. And the referee was back there considering, and finally just let it go. But that was could have been a call that went either way.
Sean, I want to make a correction, by the way. It's Josh Saltzgaber, a freshman. He's got a twin brother that's a backup quarterback in Zach Saltzgaber. But it's going to be, here's the drop by Pollard, and the rush is coming. Screens the ball, it's got a catch. It's got some running room by Lamica to midfield, leaps over a would-be tackler and lost the football, but out of bounds.
Wow. Tremendously dangerous play that time by Lamica, leaving your feet in such a way, but he leapt forward for an additional yard or 2, but there's a flag on the far side of the field, Joe.
Jeff Gwynn will let us know. It goes against the Trojans, so that'll wipe out that game.
Great play call, actually. They float to the right and a backside screen that time, and it really launched him down the field. So unfortunate for the Taylor faithful here that a penalty was called, because that was a well-designed play.
Tell you what, that pressure was coming on the backside, as you mentioned, from USF. And Pollard's taken some hits today. Lamica now checks out of the ball game. And again, Holbein still in there. Clock is running, approaching 8 minutes time remaining in the quarter. Play clock at 15. Holbein, part of a 3-wide package, goes to the right side. That's the wide side of the field. And Pollard out of the pistol now. Looks to throw again. Shows underneath, and that ball is caught. But there was immediate coverage by St. Francis. Had the pursuit coming right away. And that was Vito Tupea.
Tupea right there timed his hit perfectly with the pass completion right there. Put his shoulder into the back of the receiver and just knocked him flat. And so again, they are playing behind the sticks here, Joe.
Yeah, it'll be third down and 16. Ball back at the 33-yard line of Taylor. They would need to get it down to the 49-yard line. Cougars drop 3 back. Corners coming off on the far side. Dropping back into zone coverage. Here's Pollard, short drop. Looks, throws to the left side. Got a ball that was nearly picked off. Boy, Cougars gambled that time. And do we have a penalty flag?
We don't. But again, the quarterback was leveled. Again, that was number 99, Jordan May, with the pressure, was able to blast the quarterback as he released that ball. So another third down conversion is missed for Taylor. And the punt team has to come on.
You know, Jordan May was staring down on the referee. Is he going to throw it?
Right.
I hope not. So it'll be 4th down. Trojans will have to kick the ball away with 7:09 remaining in the quarter. Gunderson, who took an unsportsmanlike penalty last time, in there to kick the ball away. High hanging kick, and this time it's taken. This time it's Nate. No, that's Boswell across the 35. Lost the football, and Taylor's got it, I believe. Now they're going to unpile. We'll wait, and it's going to be Taylor football at the USF 39.
Wow. Unfortunate turn of events there for the Cougars. And a short field coming up for the Trojans. Their offense with a fresh breath of life here and a new set of downs.
They'll spot it at the 41. But a marvelous opportunity now for the Trojans to try to get back. They trail it by 26 points here with just under 7 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Everett Pollard brings the offensive unit back out for Taylor. And they'll have Grant Holbein in the slot now to the left side. One wide to the right. And Pollard taking a look at that Cougar defense once again, ready to take this first down snap, and now play action fake, rolls right, looking, throws away over the middle, has got a man out there, and the ball is incomplete, and we do have a penalty flag.
Yeah, that was warranted, Joe. The defender got there a little too soon and started to tackle the receiver just as the ball was coming, and I would say that's probably a pretty good call.
That goes against Wilmer Cole.
Now there's another flag on the interior as well, near this right hash mark too, Joe.
See if they offset. If one goes each way. Jeff Gwynn talking to his crew, our referee.
Typically when plays take that long to develop, that could be a holding against the offense.
So 2 fouls on the play, one on each team. An eligible receiver, downfield, offense number 77. Pass interference, defense number 21. Those penalties will offset. Replay, first down.
Yeah, just no harm, no foul, replay, first down. Does take the clock to 6:51 time remaining. But you're right, Sean, you know, when a play at Pollard buying time, trying to roll out to his right, and those big linemen, they have a meter that goes off, a counter in their head, and they start looking downfield to see if they can help, and ineligible downfield that time against the Trojans.
They either get grabby or they lose sight of the line of scrimmage, one of the two.
Taylor came in just 44 yards a game in penalty. That was third best among all MSFA football teams. So they don't normally hurt themselves a lot. Now they'll have 3 wide to the left. The official comes in to touch that football. Oh, it's a delay game. The play clock expired. Did not see that.
No.
So 1st and 10 becomes 1st and 15 with the ball back now at the USF 46-yard line. Schumacher stays in. One of the two safeties, Lee Stewart, back there as well. Corners playing off. Now as Pollard looks, play action throws over the middle. Got a catch right at the, they'll get the penalty yardage back, but tell you what, that's a big stick by Lee Stewart.
Yeah, Lee Stewart, he was actually called for the defensive pass. Oh, and another flag on the play here, Joe. That was a little redemptive play there for Lee Stewart. Checking the penalties in the first half, when we look at the Taylor University, 4 for 54 in the first half. The Cougars had 6 penalties for 34 yards, and of course that's increased here in the second half as well. But
we'll see which way this one goes. Suddenly the crew's been a little bit flag happy here in this ball game.
Yeah.
Jeff Gwynn still taking a long time with his fellow striped shirts down.
2000 play, one of both teams. Dead ball, unnecessary roughness. Defense, number 39. Dead ball, unnecessary roughness. Offense, number 77. Those fouls all set. The play counts. Second down.
So one each way. Eric Denton got that unnecessary roughness call for St. Francis. And again, they'll just offset, so the ball comes right back to the 41-yard line, and it's still second down and 10.
Titus Martin for Taylor called on that as well. Number 77, 6'3", 290-pound freshman.
Ben Davis into the game. He's up in the slot to the left side. Pollard out directing directions now, ready to take the snap. And looks to hand the ball off, and Crisp is hit. No, it's a fake and a run by, and Pollard should have handed it off.
Yeah, that was a poor decision.
And I am wrong, by the way. It is Zach Saltzgaber, a freshman quarterback, 6', 185, the twin brother of Josh Saltzgaber. I don't think they have his twin brother in there as a running back right now. It is Chris back in there, but it is freshman Zach Saltzgaber, who is 6', 185, and 2 out of 5 through the air for 23 yards coming into today's game. Third down and 10. Trojans trying to reach the 31 and look and throw over the middle, and that ball is caught. And a chance inside the 10. They'll get it down to the 5-yard line. Ball well delivered right in the middle of the field. There's Holbein. Who else?
Yeah, very nice ball thrown there. Holbein makes a great catch there as Marcus Stepp hits Saltzgaber right when he released the ball. So a good poise back there by the freshman quarterback.
Hurry-up offense now for the Trojans. They do have 2 wide either side. They'll give it off to Crisp, his run-for-1 touchdown today. And there is movement right at the snap of the football. That'll cost the Trojans 5 yards.
Yeah, not everybody was in sync on this quick-hitting, no-huddle offense there. And that's a red zone penalty against Taylor.
It'll be first down and goal, but now from the 11-yard line. 5:44 remains here in the third quarter, and kind of a little bit like the start of the ball game, up and down for the, in particular for St. Francis, although they do lead 33-7. Kempton in, he's wide to the right side. Empty backfield now for Saltzgaber, the freshman quarterback, getting some minutes for Ron Kortmacher here. Empty backfield, looks to throw, steps up, wants to run to the left side, steps out of a tackle, no he doesn't. Dragged down at the 15.
Initial hit that time by Harnish, and now a late flag. Yeah, I think this is going against Taylor, as Harnish was down on the ground, and there was a Taylor player on top of it, if I'm reading this correctly, who was trying to get into Harnish's grill.
How did that saying go? You're going to believe me or your lying eyes?
A lot of frustration out there being on display by the Taylor personnel.
After the play, dead ball, unsportsmanlike. Offense number 78. 15-yard penalty. Second down.
6'4" senior, 310-pound Austin guard. And that'll move him back even further. That's the second Taylor player today that's drawn the unsportsmanlike call. Remember, 2, you're gone. You're out.
Yeah.
Well, 2 on an individual, not collectively. But that'll take the ball back now to the 29 of USF.
Yeah, so 2 red zone penalties against Taylor here on this drive alone, and they're moving backwards instead of forwards.
Lamaka in the game, wide to the left. Wilmer Cole comes up and press coverage on him. 3 wide to the right, empty backfield. Here's a screen coming right side. Hodges got it, looking for running room. Now knocked out of bounds on the near side, inside the 30 at about the 28.
Not much there, again, as the defenders were able to shake off their open field blocks and just knock the receiver out of bounds. So that one did not develop well at all, Joe.
Sean, with all the penalties, it's 3rd down and goal.
Yeah.
At the 27.
Yeah.
Brings up 3rd and goal on the 28-yard line.
4:35 remains in this 3rd quarter. This time they'll have a protector in. Crisp, they bring him back in. Offset to the left behind freshman Zach Saltzgiver. Barking out the signals now. 3 wide to his left. Drops to throw. Looks and screens the ball right side, but nothing there. Spencer Crisp had the ball, but Pearson Harnish had him. So that's another loss. And they'll move the ball out to about the 33-yard line. And it's going to be 4th down. And what do? You don't have a field goal kicker with this kind of distance. You got to go for it. And you need a touchdown.
Yeah, Harnish that time, just a tremendous pursuit. He was able to read that screen. Helmelgarn had his hands up right in the quarterback's face. The USF defense really has done a fantastic job here at shutting down this Taylor offense. And that one is just a highlight film of what they've been doing all afternoon.
Let's see if we've got this right. They bring Gunderson in to punt in Cougar territory at the 46. I'm a little surprised as he tries to maybe go for the coffin corner. That ball is going to be caught, and it works out inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line.
Well, they have surely practiced that before. That was a darn near perfectly executed short field punt. Wow.
But you kind of wonder, down 33-7, why not take a chance to get on the board? But
well, those punts are great, Joe, but you're absolutely right. That doesn't win you games right there when you're down this far.
Not unless you can cause another turnover, and the Cougars uncharacteristically have turned it over a bit today on the ground. So the good news, USF keeps them out of the end zone. It remains 33-7. The bad news, you take over the football actually at your own 2-yard line. So Green will set up in the end zone, so will Ferrer. Green is about 8 yards deep. And they are coming up the middle. Green looking for running room. Finds it across the 10, 15, 20 in a foot race. And knocked out of bounds. Another touchdown saving tackle. This time, I believe that was Jeff Kismerick that saved the day for Taylor.
Yeah, he surely did. And boy, oh boy, that was the one man that could actually do something against that run, and he did it. Because the Green had a wide open truck lane right off tackle, left side there. The seal block was there, and he was off to the races.
Green responds with a pickup of 28 yards on that first down carry. So now it's going to be 1st down and 10 with 3 minutes exactly remaining in the quarter. Cougars with a tight formation now, and Green again looking for running room and breaking it off, and nothing there. He's going to lose yardage back around the 27.
Well, great job shutting down the edges that time. It looks like number 22 was in there to make the stop. And Lemunyon is a safety. He's a senior safety, so they were bringing pressure from the backside of the field.
Jay, we talked about that earlier. So many tackles made by the second level, and you know if this game wears on, and you know that Kevin Donley is going to pick up on that, and they're going to beat him deep.
Yeah, that's exactly. They'll go over the top.
So it'll be a loss of 2, 2nd down and 12. Now 2 wide to the right. Blitz coming defensive right side by Lemunyon again. And here's Ferrer, looks, throws right side. Got Rixey. He's got the catch at the 40, 35, 30. Trying to protect the ball inside the 25. He goes down to the 24-yard line. Big play by Nick Ferrer. And there is Dan Rixey on the receiving end.
Again, the very next play, Joe, you talked about it. The safeties are sucking up and they're loading the box. So what do? They go over the top. And a beautiful delivery by Ferrer right in line, in stride with Rixey, who takes it another 20, 30 yards after the catch.
And Rixey, he's seen Ezekiel Elliott saying, feed me, feed me.
Yeah.
1st and 10, Cougars on the march now, under 2 minutes time remaining. And there'll be a timeout taken by the Trojans. They try to regroup, trying to keep the Cougars from adding to that 33-7 lead. We'll step out. 33-7, USF on top. Cougar football on Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM Northeast Indiana.
For Harley-Davidson, Honda, and Kawasaki, there's no place like the Ellerding family of dealerships in New Haven. Now in our 52nd year, over 300 new and used motorcycles, scooters, and ATVs, plus multi-purpose utility vehicles that tow, haul, and seat up to 6, no matter what you ride.
Yeah.
You know, is CYO here tomorrow at USF?
It is, yes.
All right, I'm just going to leave the gear here then.
Okay.
Is that big dial?
Saki Motorsports today, just off Coliseum Boulevard on State Road 930 in New Haven, plus our gear store.
Let me get back to you on that.
Program feed. We are back at 1:53 remaining in this third quarter. Cougars have got the ball 1st and 10 at the Taylor 24-yard line. They'll work from the left side hash mark. Gegner's in up on the wing to the left side. Crispin wide left. Here's Ferrer. Looks, throws the fade. Down in the end zone. Ball fought for, and it is intercepted, I believe. Taylor's got it. They'll get the ball back. Rixey that time just not able to come up with it. And Taylor dodges the bullet. They'll get the ball back.
Yeah, that was a very uncharacteristic pass that time by Ferrer. Beautiful ball, but even, more beautiful coverage. The coverage was man coverage out there in the corner, and the defender had position, was right in front of the ball, and that was an easy catch for the defender to make. Rixey had to turn into the defender at that point and was not able to disrupt the pass.
So the interception takes the ball back to the 20-yard line. Official looks like he wants to, no, he's just going to set it down at the 20. Looked like he was going to walk off some yardage. So we have 1:47 on the clock. It stays 33-7. And let's see if they're going to stay with, Matt Box now, another freshman, 6'3", 195. Comes in to try his luck at quarterback for the Trojans. He'll set up out of the pistol alignment once again. Now they back away as the official comes in, and play clock was down to 0.
Yeah, delay a game again. Wow.
So that'll move the ball back to the 15. It remains first down, but 1st and 15. Blake Blaker in on the defensive line for St. Francis now. Cougars now making some changes. So 1st and 15. Blitz being shown up the middle. And here's Box, hands the ball off, running play to the right side. And that's a gain back out to the lost yardage across the 20-yard line.
That's your standard counter tray there, Joe. The backside guard and tackle were pulling from left to right as lead blockers out there. And really hats off to the USF defense, limiting that gain to basically nothing back out to the 20. Or check that, 5-yard gain that time. So
that's the twin brother, by the way. Josh Saltzgaber in there as the running back position. He goes 5'11", 205. Not as tall as his twin brother, but a little bit heavier, and they'll run up the middle, and that's a tough run across the 25 to the 26. So Saltzgaber again getting the call to bring up 3rd down and still about 3.
Yeah, just a little interior trap that time as the guard and center pulled and switched their blocking schemes. And it was enough to create a little bit of a hole, and that brings up 3rd and short now for Taylor.
Matt Muncie back in there defensively for USF. We're down to 47 seconds remaining in the quarter. So Box in that quarterback sets up out of the shotgun formation. He's got a running back off to his left side. Waiting for the snap again on 3rd down, wants to throw. Looks, throws over the middle, and that ball, was it caught? It was apparently at the 31. They've got a 1st down. Pearson Harnish was right there. Yeah. It was Saltzgaber that came out of the backfield and caught that football.
Yeah, and I think Harnish might have just lost him as he was dragging over the middle that time. And the ball was delivered right where it needed to be, and that'll be a 1st down for Taylor.
Wilmer Cole now checks back into the ball game at 1 quarterback position. We're down to 14 seconds remaining in the quarter. Shotgun formation now for Saltzgaber, or for Matt Box, I should say. 3rd quarterback used today by Ron Korfmacher for the Trojans. Long count from the line of scrimmage. Short drop, pump fake. Now wrapped up and dropped. Boy, the pump didn't work.
Wow.
So the Cougars were coming, and they got great penetration that time coming through. That was Mick Thornberry.
Blaker was there, and Thornberry, yeah. Blaker was there on his DN position right there, creating the wall, and the quarterback could not look around it, and then he finally gets wrapped up by both of them.
That is the end of 3 quarters, though, here at Darcy Stadium. And it is still a 33-7 score. USF on top. We'll be back. Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
This is David Eck.
That game tomorrow is at 12:55, Sean.
Thank you.
Lures and Bishop Dwenger student athletes who work so hard to be the best they can be. I'm here to support you too as you look for mortgage lending. If you need a home loan, pick up the phone and call me 418-6191 anytime for low closing costs and great rates. 418-6191. I offer what you want, low closing costs and great rates. Call 418-6191. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Make a difference in your life and others by joining. Every great team has focus and talent, and at Parkview Sports Medicine, our focus is on you. From performance training and nutrition counseling to orthopedic surgery, athletic rehab, and more, Parkview Sports Medicine's got you covered. You can trust us to bring together today's top experts in sports medicine to improve the performance and treatment of athletes like you. Go to parkview.com/sportsmedicine to learn how we can help you and the athletes in your life be your best. Parkview Sports Medicine. Upgrade your game.
Final 15 minutes of the regular season underway now for St. Francis. Matt Fox, who wears number 1 on his uniform, drops the throw, screens the ball. Near side's got a fingertip catch by Lamica. Works to the 30, shakes off one tackle and out of bounds here up to about the 38. And you hear a little bit on and on. Lamica, I don't know if you could see it, Sean, but several of the players had something to say to him. They still remember that hit on Sean Boswell earlier.
Well, you have long memories when stuff like that happens, and surprisingly, there really wasn't a flag there. It could have gone either way, but it looks like one of the training staff got hit during that out-of-bounds play right there. And she's going to need some assistance, but hopefully she'll be all right. But, yeah, Lamica gets the catch.
3rd down and 4. They've got to reach their own 42 for the Trojans to convert. And Box looks, rolls to his right side, taking a look. Now still running, throws the ball down deep, looking, and knocked away nicely.
There is a flag, came out late there, Joe.
Boy, Stan Jackson, I thought, played it as well as you could.
Well, I don't know that this is against the defense at this point.
Offensive?
It might be. They were all over each other.
Jeff Gwynn, our referee today.
Pass interference. Defense number 22.
Wow.
15-yard penalty for previous spot. First down.
Well, this crew today has not earned any great accolades today from the Cougar coaching staff. They have had just some absolutely atrocious calls.
Nor from this seat in the press box, too, Joe.
I tell you what, still remember the fumble they ruled against Ferrer when his arm was clearly moving forward. Anyway, that'll move the ball into Cougar territory at the 47. Still over 14 minutes remaining in this ball game. Cougars getting a lot of new numbers in there now. Ahmad Rucker, 322-pound defensive tackle in there for USF. That is a big fellow. Here's Box on the draw. Hands it off and nothing there. Let's see who got it.
I think that's Muncie.
Josh Saltzgaber on the carry.
So Josh Saltzgaber trying. He thought he had some room. He did not. That's a loss of 3. Yeah, Matt Muncie, you were right on spot on with that call.
Yeah, he did a nice swim move that time. Got rid of that offensive guard and just shot the gap and blew it up. That was fantastic.
Interesting, Sean. They've got Matt Muncie and at basically defensive tackle, if you will.
He's on the inside.
So 2nd down after the loss, 2nd down and 13. Box has got 3 wide to his right. He takes the snap and looks, drops the throw, wants the screen, got rid of it. Intercepted by Ahmad Rucker. 40, 45, 30, trying to hold on. And that makes the big fella's day.
Look at that.
Give that man a sandwich.
That is tremendous. The big boy gets the big INT right there. You talked about it, Joe. Ahmad Rucker, the defensive lineman, 6 foot, 322 pounds, out of Bishop Knoll High School, comes up with a huge INT and run back right there. Oh, that is fantastic.
He probably was the most surprised person in the stadium. Here's the ball in my chest.
What do I do with this?
But he runs, and that's maybe more surprising. He gets yardage down to the 26-yard line.
Oh, that is tremendous.
Love to see him in full house in a goal line situation. Right?
Yeah.
The old fridge play from the Chicago Bears. Crowd just really oohing and on. And look at the mob here on the bench with Rucker. They're toweling him off as Ferrer throws a little out pattern. He's got the catch. There's Boswell to the 15. And he gets another couple of yards down to about the 13-yard line. Gotta love that reaction by Ahmad Rucker's teammates.
And again, he is a senior on senior day. Mom and Dad are in the crowd. He was introduced at the beginning of the game, and what a gift back to his parents. That is just great.
Basically, the first team offensive unit still out there with Boswell and Chrisman sent to the left side. Rixey to the right. Rixey's had a big day. And Ferrer still in there at quarterback. Ryan Sonata now in as the running back. Blitz coming right side. Here's Sonata. Off tackle right. Run 10, 5, and goal line for Ryan Sonata to the house. Good for 13 yards at the 12-50 mark.
That's that hard-nosed run we were talking about from the standout from Bishop Dwyer. Ryan Sonata was getting closed in like pitchers from two men right at the goal line. He put his shoulders into it and knocked him away. Nice 6-point run that time by Ryan Sonata, number 5.
Angled run to the right side, Sonata. And that will be his third rushing touchdown of the season. And Brandon Grasha trying to put the Cougars up 40-7 here at home. And here's the snap, but penalty flags right at the snap. Ironically, Sean, the one win for Taylor on this field in the first ever home game for St. Francis, the score was 40-18.
There you go. Yeah.
Against the St. Francis penalty, move them back 5 yards.
Well, you just sense that after that huge interception right there, all the air got sucked out of the room for Taylor right there as they, that's hard to come back from. That is a huge momentum and an exclamation point on the day for the University of St. Francis to have the big D lineman run that interception back, and then Sonata on the ensuing drive puts it in for another score.
Now Grasher converts with the extra point. Came a 25-yard extra point attempt, 40-7 with a timeout here at Darcy Stadium. We'll be back. Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Dear, do you have any cash? I owe Heather for lunch. Oh, and we need to send Jason money for textbooks.
Sound familiar? Now there's an easier way to pay with People Pay from First Federal Bank. It uses First Federal's mobile app to quickly and securely text or email cash and e-gift cards.
Oh, I still have to get a gift card for Dan's birthday. I think there's an ATM on the way.
Stop hunting for ATMs and start using People Pay. Check it out at first-fed.com/peoplepay. Member FDIC.
Cougars now with 34 unanswered points as they extend their lead out to 40-7, a 33-point advantage. Now they'll kick away from left to right. Get some updated information.
Yeah, Bill Scott gave me some information about touchdowns per game here, and there's quite a list here. Number 5, or Anton Campbell is on top with 5 per game, and of course, with Justin Green having the day that he has, makes a big part of that list today as well.
Taylor on the kick return out across the 20 to the 25. They'll get another yard to the 26-yard line. So we will see. That was Kazmarek on the return. We'll see who the quarterback du jour will be. As yet, we have another penalty flag.
This one from the referee, and it was after the play.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Kicking team number 33. 15-9 penalty. First down.
That one goes on Cody Conwell. And they spot, boy, guys, did they get up late or did they have maybe a bad breakfast, not agreeing with them? We've seen a number of, and these are two well-coached teams that have a lot of character, but maybe not so much today.
Maybe not. That's a great question. And again, I think this all stems back from, again, starting that hit from Lamica on Boswell, and they have been chippy ever since on both sides of the ball.
I believe you are right. So the penalty moves the ball up to the 42 of Taylor. 1st and 10, Trojans moving from right to left. Been fortunate, still no rain in here at Darcy Stadium. And here's a handoff. Spencer Crisp looking for running room. Does find a lane open to the 45-yard line as they've got Zach Saltzgaber back in there. We saw some snaps a little bit earlier in the second half. The 6-foot freshman out of Michigan. And the gain by Crisp is good for 3 yards to the 45.
Number 45, Devin Green on that stop. He is a junior inside linebacker checking in from Bloomington North.
Lee Stewart still out there. Blake Schumacher. The two safeties for St. Francis. Coward is out there on the defensive right side as Saltzgaber looks to hand the ball off and did, but minimal gain just across the 45.
Yeah, nothing really there that time. Again, a New Jersey number in there. That's Richardson, Dylan Richardson, number 95, the defensive tackle. He is a senior out of Cesenia Memorial.
3rd down and 7. Taylor trying to reach the Cougar side of midfield to the 48. Pick up a new set of downs. Still 11:35 remaining in this ball game. Saltzgaber looking at the blitz coming up for St. Francis. Short drop. Loads, fires right. That one is caught. Nicely delivered by the freshman. There was a coverage by St. Francis short. That ball sailed over and catch is made for a 1st down. That was Holden Hodge. He's been impressive today.
Hodge really has, especially on that catch right there. He had to go up and left to get it, left his feet actually to get that ball, but it was successful and a 1st down for Taylor.
List him at 6'3". Looks like he's a little bit taller than that. Yeah. Now the Taylor into Cougar territory. 1st and 10. And they've got 2 wide to the left, the wide side of the field. Saltzgaber long count from line of scrimmage. Wants to throw again. Loads, fires to the. He's got a man down there. The ball is caught, and they may have a touchdown. Let's see. They're going to roll him down short of the goal line. It will be 1st and goal from just inside the 1.
Right on the money. What a beautiful throw that time by Saltzgaber. Again, I think that was that 87 or 80? No, I think that was Hodge again on the catch.
Yeah, it was. And I'll tell you what, you might be looking at the quarterback of the future for Taylor University. Now, let's see, they want to run the ball. Crisp is met in the backfield and falls forwards. Pearson Harnish got a hand on him. Oh, they're going to call it. No, it's Saltzgaber on the keeper play, and it's good for a touchdown from inside the 1. So the Cougars, who kept them out of the end zone for the better part of 3.5 quarters, but yield one here on the 1-yard touchdown run by the freshman quarterback. And at the 10:39 mark, Taylor on the board.
Well, that one was due to Saltzgaber's arm and Hodges' ability to catch the ball. That's all there was to it. Beautiful passes and catches that time by Taylor on display.
Gunderson with a right-footed kick, and that one, well, where did that one go?
Hit the post, but it went through.
Wow. Caromed off, so it is good. That'll make it 40-14, and we'll step out. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
This is Cindy Black, Executive Director of Redeemer Radio. We hear many stories of how God has spoken.
Yeah.
I think I'm missing a live read. Do I have an H&L left?
You have 1 H&L left, yes.
Years away, young adults who have doubted their faith are reassured by what they hear. Non-Catholics who have journeyed into the church often cite Redeemer Radio as a key influence. Lives are being transformed thanks to our generous donors. You too can join our mission by going to redeemerradio.com or calling the station. Welcome home to your family of faith.
Football fans, reminder, it's a great football weekend here on Redeemer Radio. You can catch the Stars of Tomorrow right here at the University of St. Francis as the Diocesan Championships take place. Eric Pete on the call at 12:55 tomorrow afternoon right here from the University of St. Francis and right here on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM.
Cougars had scored 34 unanswered points. That streak ends as the catch by Hodge just short of the goal line set him up for the 1-yard touchdown run. Now it's 40-14. I don't think that's Justin Green back there in kick return. It's also Matt Komakevich. As let's see what Taylor does. They do go onside, a bounding ball near side. That does get out of bounds, so it'll be St. Francis football. Knew they were going to have to try that to get the ball back with 10:39 remaining. And there's yet another penalty flag.
Well, and Lamica finds himself once again deep into the sidelines of St. Francis. Not a friendly place for him to be. Let's see what they do as they assess a penalty flag here. A reminder, football fans, that H&L Electric is your full-service electrical contractor. From commercial and industrial to residential, H&L Electric can handle the smallest to the largest of projects for your business or residence.
Penalty was against Taylor. That's declined. Procedure call against them. St. Francis wants the football. They'll have it 1st and 10 at the USF 38-yard line. Now let's see. Nate Carson will check in. We talked about him to Coach D in the pregame interview. Kid came in with 9 catches on the year, 5 for touchdowns. One of the most efficient pass receivers you will find anywhere.
5-yard penalty will be assessed at the end of the kick. First down.
Okay, they will assess that penalty. It'll be a 5-yard walk-off. That'll take the ball up to the 43-yard line for St. Francis. Now still 10:39 remaining, and Sean, they still got Nick Ferrer in there.
They do, and I see Gomez Espino out there as well, so a lot of the starters still on the field.
I think that's Eli Wallace in there as the running back. We'll check that number when we get a chance. As Ferrer looks to Wallace, cuts left, rolls, lowers the shoulder, and gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is about it.
Yeah, not really much there. Good pressure by Taylor on defense that time, brought by Alex Anderson, the D-end. He is a 6', 245-pound senior.
Wallace last week against LU did average over 6 yards a carry, 31 yards net on the day. No gain, second down and 10. Carson stays in wide to left. That's the lone wideout out there. Gomez Espino splits wide to the right. They've got a slot receiver here near side as well. On second down and 10, Ferrer with Wallace flanked to his right. Long count from the line of scrimmage. Looks to Wallace again. Hands it, starts right. Finds a seam, 45, 50, driving, may have a first down close to the 38. And that's great second effort by Eli Wallace.
It really is. Very patient run that time. He starts to the right, breaks back left, and looks for that seam. When he finds it, he takes off like a shot. And as typical, gets a bad spot at the 49.
Unbelievable. So they'll penalize him for a more than a yard. Back to the nose of the football outside the 49. It'll bring up third down and about a yard and a half. Cougars muscle up now in the inverted wishbone formation. In right in the middle is Nick Ferrer. Wouldn't it be neat if they tried to throw out of this on third and short? 11 men within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, as here is the run, and it depends on the spot. As the gain was to about the 40, it's Sonata on the carry.
Down by 52, Alex Anderson, number 50.
I believe they're going to mark him short.
I think they will.
Brings up fourth down and 1.
Wow.
From the Taylor 48-yard line.
Well, now what do you do if you're Kevin Donley? Do you try to, you don't want to give Taylor the short field again, relatively short with still 8:39 remaining. Comfortable lead of 40-14, Sean.
They can get a yard here.
Now they split Wallace out to the left side. Sonata stays in as the running back. 11 men up close again. Sonata trying to sweep wide to left. He's not going to get there.
Oh, my gosh.
Got swarmed upon as Alex Woods lost his helmet out there, in fact. But it'll be a fourth down stop by Taylor, and they'll take over the football with very good field position.
Yeah, that was a 3-yard loss that time. If not, well, let's see where they spot it. Looks like 3 or 4 yards loss as a Taylor team. You know, a hard count would have gone very well that time. They had 11 guys in the box, and they were hard charging into that line, and I think a hard count might have pulled them off. But, again, a great job. Hats off to the Taylor defense.
So the Cougars surrender the football at the USF 48-yard line. Trying to see who they've got in there at quarterback now. They've used 3 quarterbacks today, and we may be looking at the fourth and dialing up. Here's a throw to the right side. That's incomplete. That was Zach Saltzgaber, a 6-foot freshman back in there.
That's the same play they burnt USF on before, and this time it was unsuccessful that time.
Lee Stewart had the coverage, trying to throw it to Kyle Kempton on the flag pattern throw to the right side. Second down and 10 coming up. Stops the clock with 8:12 now remaining. You can tell it's getting a little bit warmer outside now. Beginning to heat up a little bit in the press box.
Yes, indeed.
So Saltzgaber out of the pistol again, one wide to left, pitches the ball right side. Little stop and go move by the running back. I think that's his twin brother, Josh Saltzgaber. Might be through the. Yeah, it is. They've got both of them in there. The twin brothers out of Michigan.
Yeah, Dutton that time is still in the game and did a good job of limiting that gain.
Fortunately, you know, it's sometimes, Sean, you see the double numbers, and I'm glad they're both not numbered 14 or 36, respectively. So a gain sets up third down and a long 4. Inside the Cougar 45 for Taylor. And play action fake and pressure. This Saltzgaber throws, and the ball is caught for a first down at the Cougar 31.
This kid, he's a good quarterback. He's got good vision down there. He needs to work on his pocket presence, but he can throw that zip line ball. He was able to find his receiver in a sea of Cougars down there and gives him a first down.
Yeah, that was Holbein on the receiving end. Here come the Trojans now with still just under 7.5 minutes remaining, trying to tighten the game a little bit more if they can. USF now leads it by 26. They've led by as many as 33, but Taylor on the move. And here's Saltzgaber, play action again, wants to throw, near side's got the out pattern at the 21. Holbein again trying to stay in bounds, stepped out of bounds though at the Cougar. Boy, he got a great spot at the 18.
Yeah. Again, very effective moving through the air this time, as Saltzgaber really gives them an upgrade in that passing department.
First and 10, Taylor on the move. They do not huddle up. They'll have 2 wide to the right, including Ben Davis up on the slot to the right side. Saltzgaber directing traffic now, 2 wide to the left as he's got waiting for that snap. Low snaps, got it now, quarterback draw, gets away from 1, cuts to the outside to the 15, to the 10, lowers the shoulder, got out to about the 6, I believe. And I tell you what, this is an impressive drive by Taylor.
Indeed it is. The quarterback's showing some good poise out there. Nothing was available to him downfield, so decides to tuck it and run and gets another first down. This time first and goal for Taylor.
And I'll tell you what, Cougars have got their first team defense basically out there as well. There'll be a timeout now taken with 6:27 remaining. It'll be first and goal Taylor when we return inside the Cougar 10 at the 6. This is Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM Northeast Indiana.
Howdy folks, this is Jimmy Aiken from Catholic Answers Live, which is heard right here on Redeemer Radio weekdays from 6 to 8 p.m.
Joe, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 more 30s, and we also got a 60 that we can go into the post game with.
Okay, sounds good.
With some of the leading apologists and theologians in the church today. Thank you for listening to and supporting Catholic programming like Catholic Answers Live right here on Redeemer Radio.
Both teams now with just 2 timeouts remaining. Cougars on the field, defensive unit. Wilmer Cole breaks out of there, and a lot of the familiar numbers out there, and they're trying to stop this Taylor movement offensively that's got them down in a goal line situation. First down and goal at the 6. Lamica is going to come back out there. He'll be part of the offensive unit.
And again, Joe, if Taylor stays with this quarterback, their future is bright. I've been very impressed with his ability to pass and also escape the defensive pressure.
Lamica in, he's tight to the left side, 1 wide either side. Motion out of that now, right to left. Behind the line of scrimmage as Saltzgaber now runs the counter to the right side himself. He's into the 2-yard line. Did he get in? He did. So Saltzgaber from 6 yards out against the number 1 defense of St. Francis. And Taylor on the board again as they'll make it a 40-20 ball game with 6:20 remaining.
Yeah, nice quarterback keeper around the right side. Again, they flood the left side zone and shoot to the right automatically with a lead blocker. And he had enough speed and got the angle to the end zone.
So Zach Saltzgaber gets his first rushing touchdown of the season. Gunderson will come on now looking to make it a 40-21 ball game. Here's the snap is good. Kick is long enough on the way, and it is no good. Hold it this time wide left. So Gunderson, who came in 23 of 28, keeps it at 40-20. 20-point edge for St. Francis. 6:20 on the clock. We'll be back. Cougar football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
This is David X with Union Savings Bank Mortgage Department. So happy to support Bishop Lures and Bishop Dwenger student athletes who work so hard to be the best they can be. I'm here to support you too as you look for mortgage lending. If you need a home loan, pick up the phone and call me 418-6191 anytime for low closing costs and great rates. 418-6191. I offer what you want, low closing costs and great rates. Call 418-6191. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Well, Taylor has looked like a little different football team. They've scored 2 touchdowns now in a row here in the 4th quarter. And now, you know, they're going to try to go onside to get their hands on the football one more time at least.
Do what it takes to win. Again, this goes back to some of the decision making. They did punting on 4th and short with a short field here earlier. Again, you have to wonder, Joe, you have to think about if, in fact, they had different player personnel in the game from the beginning, would the result be different at this point in time? We don't know. That's all hearsay and conjecture, but really impressed with this young quarterback for Taylor.
Justin Green in there and kick return, but he's only standing back at the 25. 10 men up within about 5 yards of line of scrimmage. Gunderson waiting for the go-ahead from the officials, now approaching, and he will pooch the ball down the middle of the field. Boswell's got it, called fair catch at the, well, he called fair catch up around the 43-yard line, but guess what? They're going to mark it at 1st and 10, USF at the 41. So we now, well, no time right off the clock, still 6:20 remaining. And the Cougars are going to go basically with the first unit in there, I believe. Ferrer stays out there. Eli Wallace will come in as the running back. Chris Smith comes in as the wing back off the left for blocking purposes. And I would not expect Ferrer necessarily to throw the football, but then you never know. Here's Ferrer. Read option, hands to Wallace. Wallace looking for running room and does not find much. Got back to the line of scrimmage, trying to feel his way down the left side of the line. Stopped by Darius Stanley. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Bostic also got in there for the Trojans.
Yeah, Taylor doing a nice job stunning that time to the right side. So the lead block was picked up, but the linebacker was able to flow very easily to the point of attack and stop that run for no gain.
Cougars may be forced to go to the air to just try to pick up a couple of first downs and keep the clock moving. Still both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. But Taylor has scored the last 2 times they've gotten their hands on the football. Nate Carson in wide to the left side. That's the short side of the field. Spread offense with 2 wide either side now. They come up in press coverage. Blitz is coming. Here's Ferrer, quick throws, and there's Blackwell. Blackwell 45-40, 35, cuts to the left, spins off a tackle, still on his feet down to the 27-yard line. Duke Blackwell, that's a big, big play.
Again, a corner blitz coming in from Taylor. Ferrer reads that, goes with the hot read where the corner was supposed to be, and there's Blackwell with a great reception. Tremendous yards after the carry, and really an athletic move to try and spin out of a tackle to get a few more yards.
Dovey Gamble made the stop, and that might have saved a touchdown as well. So the Cougars on the move now, feeling a little bit better about themselves with exactly 5 minutes remaining. And they'll take time as much as they can off the clock and off the play clock. Huddling up, now this coming out of the huddle. Andreas Gomez Espinito wide to the right. They see Eli Wallace once again trying to take the clock down close to well inside of 4.5 minutes. He gets the call off tackle, now cuts it up, got to the 25, a gain of a couple.
Yeah, again, we don't need much there. Good conservative play call, getting positive yards. More importantly, really just trying to grind that clock down and not giving Taylor any more opportunities on offense.
Cougars going to bring in Cody Conwell now, the 5'8 senior out of Cherubusco, into the backfield. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Ball's placed squarely at the Taylor 25-yard line. You know, more than anything, I think St. Francis would love to score, just basically to end this game if they can on a positive note.
Sure.
Right now leading at 40-20. Again, wide to the right is Gomez Espino. Here's Ferrer under pressure, dumps the ball off. That ball can't be handled, though, in the flats. Left side, incomplete, looking for Duke Blackwell.
Yeah, he was the outlet pass. The pressure was coming. Ferrer did a fine job at trying to hit that outlet receiver in Blackwell, but the ball needed another foot on it, and would have been a complete pass. But that one falls short.
Very tough when you're backpedaling. You know the pressure's coming. You see it. And trying to still get enough arm strength to deliver that ball on target. Just fell short, as you mentioned. Carson now stays in wide to the left side. That's the short side of the field. As Ferrer from the left side hash mark. Now needs about 7 on this 3rd down call. Long count from line of scrimmage. 2-step drop. Looks, throws the right side, looking for Blackwell down, and that ball is knocked away. That was good defense inside once again as Ferrer left it a little bit short.
Yeah, Blackwell had to be a defender on that one, as it was defended very, very well by Taylor that time. Had the inside position on the receiver, And Blackwell had to get an arm in there and knock that ball away from the defender.
Brockema had the coverage that time, and now it's 4th down. Cougars need to reach at least the just inside the 18, outside the 17 to pick up a new set of downs. Need about 8 yards on this snap with 3:37 remaining. The clock stopped on the incompleted pass. Too wide again, the wide side of the field for USF. Now leaning in, says something to Eli Wallace. Blitz coming by Brockema, left side. Here's Ferrer, looks, stands in there and threw the ball into the turf.
I think it was deflected, Joe. Somebody had to get a paw on that one because it went straight down into the turf after the release. So the 4th down conversion is failed, and Taylor will take over.
That is probably, when you go to dissect this ball game, that is something that St. Francis will have to work on, because in the playoffs, you're going to get that kind of pressure, and Nick Ferrer's got to understand he just does not have that kind of time.
That's it.
They've got to find a solution with the drag patterns, quick slants or something to counteract that. And they've done that at times today, but certainly not that last series.
Right, either that or extra protection, one of the two, maybe 2 men in the backfield instead of just one. But you're right, Joe, they've got to work on that.
So Taylor has scored twice now, and they get another opportunity with just over 3.5 minutes remaining. Working from right to left. Here's the short drop. They screen the ball near side. That's Daniel Boy with it. Works to the 30. Brings it out to about the 31-yard line.
Good stick. Adam Hoffer, number 48 that time, free safety position. He's out of New Haven. Made a very nice open field tackle right there.
Cougars making some changes as well. Their defensive Fletcher Coward didn't see him in. I thought he came out of there. He is still in there.
Yeah, he's on the far side.
One of the few defenders of the starters for St. Francis. So that's a gain of 7, 2nd down and 3. And there was movement on the right side. That was going to be procedure. Matt Box, by the way, back in there.
False start. Offense, number 63. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Logan Ball came up a little bit early out of his stance. That'll cost him 5. Matt Box, another freshman, Sean at 6'3", back in there. He's seen snaps earlier in the game.
Logan Ball is the little guy on that front line. He checks in at 6'4", 295.
You suppose that the guys call him Shrimp? Everybody else is 300 pounds or better.
It's Mr. Shrimp to you.
2nd down and 8. Box out of the pistol. Looking on the read option. Hands it off tackle run to about the 29-yard line. They may give him another yard to the 30. A lot of new numbers, both sides coming in.
Yeah.
On that last carry, Nick Iorio is a 5'11", 225-pound junior. He's out of Waterloo, but out of Waterloo, Illinois.
Yeah.
3rd down call. 3rd down along 4 for the Trojans, trying to reach their own 35-yard line now. The clock shows just over 2 minutes remaining. In a 40-20 lead by USF. Box again, long count from line of scrimmage. Looks to shovel the ball off near side. Run to the 30-yard line to the 33. That's short of the 1st down. As the pitch came here on the wing. And they're trying to get that ball once again, this time to Justin Fath. Another freshman running back. 4th down and 1. Taylor, I believe, is going to roll the dice with under 2 minutes remaining. Clock stopped with 1:55 to play. Ahmad Rucker, by the way, back in there. Big fella at defensive tackle. Taylor needing a yard. Here's the handoff. They'll run the ball. They've got it. As it tripped up, but reaching out the 37-yard line was Josh Saltzgaber.
Yeah, so
nope,
again.
got it wrong. With the ball that time, it was Justin Fath.
Jalen Moss from the free safety position made that stop. He's out of Fishers, Indiana. Another freshman on the field for the Cougars.
So 1st and 10. Taylor gets another chance with 95 seconds remaining in the football game. Box to throw. Looks on the square out patterns. Got a catch. And running out of bounds after that catch. That was... they're going to give that to Bossi, I believe, Tyler Bossi, a tight end. That's good for 7. And I'll tell you what, Taylor's very efficient. They're working the clock. Bossi, by the way, 230-pound tight end. And we will have a timeout taken with 1:28 on the clock. 40-20 our score. Taylor trying to finish with some flourish here today on the road in Fort Wayne. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM Northeast Indiana.
What passions do you want to pursue next in life? Do you want to be a sculptor, a volunteer, teach your grandkids to fish? As a financial advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, Reinbold and Anderson can help you plan for the life you want today and well into the future. When you have the right financial advice.
Sorry, we got 2 30s and a 60 left.
Reinbold and Anderson at 260-432-3235. Offices located at 5750 Coventry Lane, Suite 110, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 468.
Copy that.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Cougars actually took that timeout. They have one left. Kind of a teaching moment for Kevin Donley right now, because it's been a little bit of a downer now in this fourth quarter, with Taylor having scored 2 touchdowns and approaching, Sean, midfield, maybe a chance at another.
Yeah, that's precisely right. So again, regroup the defense, mind their P's and Q's, and finish this game strong.
Matt Box now sets up out of the shotgun formation. Protector to his right. And again, short drop, looking to throw. Steps up in the pocket, will run to the right side. He's got the first down into Cougar territory. Stretches out, and they buy it. They're going to give him. They spotted that football inside the USF 48 to the 47.
Yeah, good presence right there. And again, the linebacker core was spread out in coverage that time, so the quarterback saw he had some green acres right up the middle and decided to take advantage.
Brian Little in, one of the wideouts to the right, the wide side of the field. Box. Short drop again. Looks. Now flush to his left. Cuts back to the right side. Runs to the 45. Cuts up the middle to the 40 down. He's close to a first down at the 38-yard line of St. Francis.
Yeah, 9-yard scamper that time by the quarterback again. The defenders in the backfield are doing a fine job covering up the receivers, but there's nothing left to contain the quarterback.
Second down and short. They'll run the running back. And that's a run up the middle. Boy, I think that was a keeper play by Box to the 30-yard line. Takes the clock down to 36.4 seconds remaining. And now a hurry-up offense by the Trojans, trying to get onto the board one final time before the end of this ball game. Clock runs. Box now takes a look. And waiting, Cougars show blitz defensive left side. Wanting to throw. Box this time it steps out. Lost the football. Scramble for it. And let's see how this one ends up with just 14.5 seconds remaining. And the Cougars, I think, have got it. Or do they? No, it's a timeout call.
Yeah, timeout called by Taylor right there.
I thought the official indicated ball recovered by St. Francis. Instead, it's a timeout. So, each team now with one timeout remaining. Taylor calling that timeout. One more chance at least. They'll have 1st and 10 at the USF right about the 30-yard line. We'll be back. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
Hello, this is Mike Ripley, board chair at Redeemer Radio. This year, I encourage you to turn your financial support into a recurring gift to maximize your investment in reaching more souls with the message of God. Once you become a recurring gift partner, you'll be automatically enrolled in our Saint Gabriel Perpetual Gift Society with both spiritual and practical benefits. You can review all those benefits and join our Saint Gabriel Perpetual Gift Society today at RedeemerRadio.com.
They actually marked that ball. Well, they had it outside the 31. Now move it to the 29. It was second down and a little bit of a loss. Second down, we'll still call it 10. But let's see what Taylor now. Will they try to go into the end zone? Cougars drop 3 back into coverage. As Matt Box trying to make a play here, make his case to maybe be the starting quarterback. Short drop, looking. Has time. Now flares it out in the near side. And they try to get out of bounds as that catch was made with 7 seconds remaining, 7.6. So the catch was made here on the near sidelines. That was Mitch Whedon.
Play pass. From the passer. Defense number 45. Half the distance to the goal. Also a first down.
Tell you what, Kevin Donley's not going to be real happy the way his team has played. That was a roughing the passer call. It'll be a walk-off inside the 15. Down to the 10, and that's where they're going to put the ball down with 7.6 seconds remaining, and Taylor may have at least one, maybe 2 chances to get the ball for a third score in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's been a sloppy quarter for the University of St. Francis on defense, and I know they've got new player personnel out there giving some other kids a chance, but they need to tighten up.
Here's Box counting the Cougar defenders, takes a look. Play clock is at 6, takes the snap. Wanting to throw over the middle, has got a man open. That one is not caught, inbounds at least. Incomplete, looking right over the middle, but that was well over the end line. Took the clock down to 3.6 seconds, though they'll have one more shot at least at getting a touchdown. Fox looking over to the Taylor sidelines. What they want to try to do right now, they'll have a spread offense with two wide either side. Running back, the protectors in, offset to the right side. Box now with still 14 on the play clock. Ready to take the snap. And here we go with the snap, and he looks to the fade. The left side throws the ball. That's no chance. It short hopped in there, and that took the clock down to 000. So Taylor denied with that final scoring opportunity, and it goes in the books as a Cougar win, 40-20. But I don't know about you, Sean. I've got kind of a, well, I wouldn't say a sinking feeling, but not what we expected, I think, here in the last 8-10 minutes of this ball game.
No. I mean, there was clearly a momentum shift here. When we look back at the end of the third and the start of the fourth, it was a completely different game. And so, yeah, like you said, Joe, happy about the win, but really not happy about the finish. And that would be my assessment of this game. So the Cougars kind of strolled into this victory, I guess.
They do win at 40-20. You always got to be a little concerned now with the week off, and does that create a little bit maybe? And again, I'm speculating some Raiders who may not necessarily be fans of the MSFA, but would they penalize St. Francis, drop them out of that #1 position? Remember Baker in the vicinity at rank #2. But we will see. Right now it is done as far as the regular season. 40-20, the Cougars run the table, do get an undefeated regular season, and with it comes the Mideast League title as well. So victory is victory, and the Cougars will celebrate. We'll go to our post-game show after this timeout. This is Cougar Football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM, Northeast Indiana.
I have a special word for married men, since I'm one of you. Our wives and children need us, faults and all.